Live from Tad Gormley Stadium, Crescent City Sports is proud to bring you a first for us tonight. High school track and field is tonight. The Catholic League comes together in one stadium for the District 9-5A Championships. Hi again, everybody. Lenny Van Gilder, pleased to be joined by longtime track assistant coach and personal trainer Howie Inman. Howie, you are our expert tonight on what is going on here this evening. But if you've never watched track and field, and of course, like we said, this is the first time we're bringing it to you at Crescent City Sports. This is a lot of fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun here over the next 3 hours watching these teams battle it out. 7 boys teams, 5 girls teams. A lot of the field events have been going on since 4 o'clock. We're going to get into the running events in just a couple of minutes. But this is very fast-paced and a lot of activity and a lot of great athletic ability on display here this evening.
Thank you very much, Lenny. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm looking very, very, very excited about these 19 events. Like you said, we've already got a few of the field events underway. We already have the 4x8 relay done. We already have some scoring, and we already have some qualifiers for the next round of meets, which is our regional, which will be in Thibodaux next week. I believe it's on Wednesday.
Yes.
But to go over it, the top 4 in every event qualify for the next round at the regional meet. And at regionals, the top 3 from regionals get to qualify and compete in the state meet, which is always held at Bernie Moore Stadium in Baton Rouge at LSU.
Yep, a couple of weeks from now. So basically what you have, like we mentioned, 7 teams competing on the boys' side, your 7 Catholic League teams. Of course, Edna Carr is new to the mix this year, and they obviously bring some intriguing prospects to this. They've traditionally been a very good track program, and will certainly make their mark here this evening. On the girls' side, of course, Carr coming in now gives us 5 teams on the girls' side. Chappelle, Dominican, Mount Carmel, John Curtis, of course, a co-ed school, along with Carr. So that's what we'll see. We'll see 5 teams competing on the girls' side, 7 on the boys' side. As we get ready, our first event coming up on the track here in just a couple of minutes will be the 4x200 relay. And we'll see, for every event we see tonight, it's going to be girls, then boys. Just a couple of quick explainers. Every school can enter 2 individuals in every event. You can enter 1 relay team, but you can enter 2 individuals in any one event. Any one individual can compete in a maximum of 4 events. You can be entered in more than that, but you can only compete in 4 events. So, your sprinters may be running the 100 and 200 meters and maybe competing in 2 relays, for instance, or maybe they're involved in the long jump, perhaps. So it's just to give you an idea, and obviously your throwers may be doing different things. So that's what you've got at play here as you try to determine a champion. The points go down the line for on the boys' side. It will be 10 for a first place, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1 for sixth. And on the girls' side, it will be, because it's a 5-team meet, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1. So that's a little bit of how things play out. And again, those points add up. Even those 5th and 6th place points can sometimes make the difference in determining what a district champion could be. And every point certainly can count when you've got this kind of intense competition, right?
Absolutely. When you put it in perspective like that, with Carr moving into our district, they just topped off this district as making it probably the most elite district, not only in this state, but in this region. One of the things I'm looking forward to is district champion is going to be decrowned from this event. Brother Martin is the 2-time defending district champion of the 9-5A. But Carr comes in from being in the 4A school. They've won 8 of their last 9 district championships. So they come into play, and it's going to be a showdown every event. Every place is going to matter in this scoring team title. Another team that we should definitely look out for is John Curtis. Before COVID, they won 4 straight of the boys district championships. And of course, you also got the juggernaut Jesuit. They have probably one of the best cross-country programs also in the region.
Oh, in America, for that matter. Yeah, I mean, they
absolutely.
finished number 2 in the nation, and they were a team that put up a perfect score in the state meet this year. It's one thing to do that in a district meet, but they put up a perfect score of 15 points in the state meet. They had the top 5 finishers in their division in the state meet.
Like you said best, Lenny, that's perfection.
Yeah, no doubt. Before we get going, today's coverage of Crescent City Sports is brought to you by the Lamarck Motor Company in Kenner. Lamarck Quick Lane services all makes and models, batteries, tires, oil changes, and more, all done quickly while you enjoy some popcorn. Must be a reason. Our thanks to Ronnie Lamarck and his entire team at Lamarck Ford for everything they do to support us here at Crescent City Sports. Getting ready for the first event of the evening session. Like we mentioned a moment ago, we've already had the 4x800 meter relay contested. We will have coming up shortly here the 4x200 meter relay, beginning with the girls. Your lane assignment: Chappelle is in lane 3, John Curtis in 4, Carr in 5, Mount Carmel in 6, Dominican in 7, and we are underway. This is something that will stay in their lanes throughout. You'll see the handoff coming up here.
I think
momentarily we'll look for the first exchange, and it looks like Mount Carmel has the edge at the first exchange in lane 6.
Looks like Carr coming on strong, already eating up the stagger on the turn after this first exchange.
It's Carr in 5 to the inside, Mount Carmel in 6, Dominican in 7, and Carr is taking the lead here as we head towards the second exchange at the 400 meter mark. And the Cougars still with the edge as we head to the third leg.
Exchange zone cleared.
Yeah. Carr with about a 5 meter lead over Mount Carmel. Dominican is running third. It's John Curtis now gaining.
And this one's going to come down to the last exchange. Ooh, Mount Carmel with the slight lead after the handoff. But Carr's anchor is looking like she's not going to give anything.
Carr with some outstanding sprinters. And it looks like in their first year in the league, Carr is going to take this 4x200 meter relay as they have expanded the lead down the lane. And we'll watch for the final time here. 1:45 and change. They came in with a best of 1:45.01 on the year. Might be slightly off of that final time. We'll wait for the final results to come in.
White flag. Oh, there's a red flag going to the scores table.
All right. We'll watch and see if that might involve a disqualification. Of course, everything is very fast-paced. We may have to catch you up on what is going on, especially as, again, you've got field events finishing up on the infield and down behind the scoreboard if you've been here at Tad Gormley where the shot put is taking place. So, yeah, it's this is the perfect sport if you're a multitasker to keep up with watching.
Yes, we'll review some of the field events here shortly, but I want to point out how elite this upcoming race is. The boys 4x200 meter relay in this district is absolutely elite.
Yeah, we got 4 teams that entered with times under 1:27 on the year. Talk about what that means in a big picture.
In the big picture, that puts all 4 of those teams in the top 50 in the entire nation, which is unheard of to have that much talent in one race at a district competition.
Right. Curtis is in lane 5, by the way. They've got the top time of 1:26.32.
Yeah, Holy Cross right now, it has the 48th fastest time in the entire country, followed by St. August, the 34th, Carr 33rd, and Curtis with the 30th fastest time. And they were all within about 0.2 of a second from each other, so anything can happen in this race.
Right, this could really be a blanket finish. You go through the lane assignments here. It'll be Brother Martin in lane 2. Lane 1 is empty. Jesuit in lane 3. St. Augustine in lane 4. They were the 2021 champions in this event. John Curtis is the defending champion in this event. 1:26.32, we mentioned their entering time. Carr is in lane 6. Holy Cross in lane 7. You'll hear us talk a lot about Holy Cross and their sprinters this evening, led by Cross Johnson, who's a junior, has been outstanding. And then on the outside, Rummel is in lane 8. So again, left to right, it's Brother Martin, Jesuit, St. Aug, John Curtis, Carr, Holy Cross, and Rummel. As still have a red flag, we're waiting on everything to be in place before we run this boys 4x200 meter relay.
I think it's definitely worth noting here, Lenny, that Holy Cross is the 4th seeded team in this event, but they are the defending indoor state champions this year. So they're literally the 4th fastest in our district, but also the state champions in this relay. Let's see what happens.
While we wait here, let's just quickly update the team scores. Mount Carmel leading the girls race right now with 45 points, followed by Dominican with 35, Carr with 20, Archbishop Chappelle 17, and John Curtis with 8. On the boys' side, Jesuit with the lead at this point with 61 points, followed by John Curtis with 46, Brother Martin with 26, Rummel 9, Carr 6, Holy Cross 5, and St. Aug 2. Again, most of that is field events outside of the 4x800 meter relay, which took place about 90 minutes ago.
Absolutely. Once this race is over, because I don't want to miss a second of it, we'll go over what has happened in the field so far.
Yeah, we'll catch you up, especially. Here we go. Off and running in the 4x2, and a good start all the way around. Nobody really making up much of a stagger at this point, perhaps in lane 6. That's Carr maybe closing a little bit on Holy Cross in 7. Watch the handoffs. And it looks like Carr may have exchanged it first.
White flag clear.
Now you'll see this again. The staggers will kind of sort themselves out here.
That's Raji Dennis from Carr. He is an elite individual open sprinter. And he ate up the stagger and got his team in first place.
Yeah, Carr's got the lead. Look, Rummel's doing a great job in lane 8 out there. But let's see what happens here. Yeah, you got in the middle of the track, you've got Curtis in lane 5, you got Holy Cross in lane 7. As things start to straighten away, looks like Curtis is making up some ground here in lane 5.
That's Michael Turner on the leg. All of these guys are going to
Carr and Curtis handed off almost simultaneously. Ooh. Let's see what happens coming down the lane.
Another white flag. We're clear. We have a lot of elite individual sprinters in this relay.
Carr pulling away. Carr is running.
Oh,
that is 125 and change, which will be not only the fastest time in the district this year, but that will be a district record, breaking a 23-year-old mark. We'll wait for the official time. St. Aug held the district record of 126.85. Now, we should mention that 3 teams came in with better marks than that, but again, it's only what happens here at the district meet. So 125 and change unofficially. We will wait for that time to get posted in the results. See if you can find that one there, Howie, as we stay up to date on what's coming up next here. But that certainly unofficially looked like a meet record in the boys 4x2 with Edna Carr. That was sensational.
Carr just made a statement and said, "Welcome to the Catholic League."
Yeah.
That was impressive. Clear all the way around, no red flags. That is definitely going to bump them up in the national rankings. Wow, that was impressive. Carr with the seed time of 1:26.53, and they shattered that seed time.
Yeah, I'm not seeing results go in just yet.
Crescent City Timing Corp is providing us with the live stream. If you want to check out the live scoring and event results, check out Crescent City Timing.
Crescent City Timing. They do just about every meet in this area.
Yes,
they are a great resource if you are a track and field fan to keep up with what's going on. So coming up next, it will be the girls' 1,600-meter run, followed by the boys. So basically your metric mile. And this is an event that Mount Carmel comes in with the two best times.
Yes.
Katarina Reichert, who finished second at this event a year ago, has the best time of 5:15. Morgan Trout, the Dominican, comes in with a time of 5:30, but she won this event a year ago.
Throughout the competition today, you're going to hear me talk about just all the amazing accomplishments these young athletes have already had in their career. Catalina's a sophomore, and she has already got tons of state championship experience under her belt. This past indoor season, she won the 3,200, and she finished third place in this event of the 1,600 meters. During the season, she also won the very prestigious Mobile Meter Champions with a full mile, not just the 1,600 meters, the full mile. She ran 5 minutes and 1 second. That is flying around the track. And she is only a sophomore.
Looking to see if we have results posted yet from the 200, no, the 4x200. Not as of yet. We're still waiting on those to happen.
I'll go ahead and cover the long jump. I was down there earlier and watched some crazy jumps.
Yeah, triple jump, at least on the boys' side, is still ongoing right now. A lot of them compete in both. But what did we miss in the long jump?
So it looks like we had a couple PRs, and from my predictions in the long jump were way off. The two Jesuit kids came out to play today. We got Tyler Hayes from Curtis won with a jump of 22.1, which is a Louisiana top 25 mark. His PR was 22.6, so just a little bit off of his best. But the two Jesuit kids came in. I had them coming in about 4th and 5th place. They came up and finished 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah.
Huge point swings in the team title.
Right. August Berner was 3rd in this event a year ago. Hayes was 2nd. So Jody Barber was up in there as well. So Jesuit picking up 14 points in that event.
Huge.
When on paper maybe they were only going to get 7. That's a big jump.
I know Coach Rudy from Jesuit is very happy about that. When I talked to him yesterday about his what he hoped for, this was that his field event just tackle it by committee, and once I get into the high jump, his high jumpers jumped very well. So whatever he told his jumpers, they were listening.
So elsewhere, what other information? We wait for the start of the 1,600, which will be the next event on the track here. What else did some of the field events?
Stick with it, right on cue. Let's go with the boys' high jump. I know the boys' high jump has Kyron Sumler, who's the state champion in the indoor meet. He jumped 6'8" that day. So he actually cleared. The result says he only cleared 6 foot, but I saw him clear 6'4". So he jumped 6'4" and cut out competition because he's also triple jumping. But was a very huge point swing. I had Curtis going 1st and 2nd in that event, and they went 1st and 4th. I had Jesuit going 3rd and 5th. They finished 2nd and 3rd. So another huge point swing in Jesuit's favor there. And keep going with the boys' field events that have already been completed. Oh, there's the gun.
Now here we go. We're off in the 1,600. There are 8 girls runners competing in the 1,600. We mentioned the 2 Mount Carmel runners, Reichert and Riley Imbernoni. Reichert was 2nd in this event a year ago, and Imbernoni was 3rd 2 years ago. And Morgan Trout, the Dominican, is the defending champion.
We have another boys' result in from the field events. Our javelin throwers pretty much right where I had them predicted. The Zach Drake from John Curtis moving up a couple spots. But Jesuit executing Coach Rudy's game plan to a T, scoring 16 points in the javelin. The qualifiers for the regional meet is Michael Taylor from Holy Cross, Peter Conley from Jesuit, Zach Drake from John Curtis, and Nick Jacobs is their district champion with a throw of 152 feet 3 inches.
Jacobs is a Tulane signee in football.
There you go. Keep that talent in
well,
the city.
and then, look, one of the things one of the great stories of the track season a year ago was Jesuits' Jack LaRiviere. Was a
Absolutely.
quarterback on the football team, had never picked up a javelin in his life. All of a sudden started throwing it in the spring and ended up with the number 2 throw in the nation.
Yeah, I'm going to have to backpack on that statement. Jack was he would train at Quarterback U, which is a quarterback training that actually trains in my sports facility that I co-own, Jefferson Indoor Sports. So I saw his cannon plenty of times, and we all suggested that he pick the javelin up.
Well, and ended up, I mean, he was going to be a preferred walk-on in football, and it turned out he signed a track scholarship with LSU. That was how good he was in track and field.
His first throwing competition, he threw the number 1 throw in the nation last year, which is absolutely incredible. We were very proud to see Jack do that.
So field is really spaced out here as we close in on the halfway point. You see the leaders coming back into the home stretch here to cross the 800-meter mark.
And this event historically has been dominated by Mount Carmel Dominican, and it is holding serve right now. We got Mount Carmel, Dominican.
Yeah, that is Reichert in the lead.
She's looking very comfortable coming through at 2:36.
Imbernone and Trouth are neck and neck for second as we hit the 800-meter mark, and about 2:40.
She is well under pace for a 5:15 mile. Let's see what she does the second half, because she's opening up a good 30-meter lead.
And if we talk about district records, if we saw a district record a little bit earlier, 23 years old, the district record in the girls 1600 is 5:15:33, and it is a 24-year-old mark. Look, and you've got one of the amazing things is that district records that you would think over time, kids are getting faster, they're more, they're doing things at a younger age, whatever, that district records would start to fall. There are a lot of district records that are 30 and 40 years old in the Catholic League.
This district has never been shy of amazing performances. Yeah, Catalina's opening it up. She is definitely on pace for this record. Let's see if she can pull through with 500 meters to go.
Coming down the stretch for the bell lap here. We'll hear the bell momentarily. I guess they ring the bell still, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All
well,
right.
It doesn't look like there's a bell. Looks like Mr. John Mayer, the starter for Crescent City Timing, he's going to pull the gun right now.
There you go. 3:55 as she crossed the line. So if she can get home in an 80-second lap.
And she's going for it.
Yeah, she's got a chance here to take out, and she's got a good 9-second lead here. So it's her race to win.
She is picking it up going into the backstretch.
Again, Reichert second in this event a year ago. And you mentioned she's just a sophomore.
Yeah, the competition, we have some amazing seniors competing at the various schools throughout this district, but I'm blown away by the underclassmen and the ability they have.
4:33 or so at the 1,400-meter mark.
Whoa. She is bringing it home. She is going to run under 5:15 for sure.
If she can finish it off, let's see, as she hits the straightaway. About 4:53 here. She could do this in 20 or 21 seconds. We got a district record.
5 minutes, 50 meters to go.
You see the clock in the bottom right of your screen.
That's a record.
She sees it. And that was 5:09 and change unofficially, and that would shatter the district record here for 1,600 meters. Catalina Reichert of Mount Carmel.
Second place finishing third from Dominican right behind.
Yes, that's exactly as the seeds went here. Reichert, Imbernone, and Trouth go 1, 2, 3 in this one, just as the seed times projected.
Fourth place qualifying for the next week's regional meets coming down the curve right now.
Yeah. Let's see. This should be. Yeah, it's Anna Hawes from Dominican coming down the lane here. And she will cross the line in a little bit over 6 minutes. And again, that fourth spot is big because you punch your ticket
to the next round.
Your season is not over. So a couple of Chappelle runners will fall in behind here. This is pretty much going as advertised, at least as you looked at the seed times coming in. It's gone that way.
The boys with the 1,600 meters, I want you to run down the start list. I'm going to backpack on that. There are some elite runners.
Well, we mentioned Jesuit success in cross country this year, and they have the top 2 times with Jack DeRoche and Michael Vokey is the 2-time defending champion in this race.
In the entire state. He's 2 times the defending state champion in this event. Not only just the district.
Right. Now, we talk about records. Okay, here's one that's out there. You know, we've seen so far tonight unofficially a 23-year-old record and a 24-year-old record fall. But look at the record in the boys 1,600. By the way, it's the same record holder if you go to the boys 3,200. I'm going to age myself here, but you know, Keith Iveen, who we lost way too soon, you know, was in my graduating class from Archbishop Rummel back in 1982, and as a senior, he ran 4:16:10 in the 1,600 the district meet and 9:28:10 for 3,200. And 41 years those records have stood up. And he was a charter member of Rummel's Athletic Hall of Fame, and deservedly so, for the dominance that he provided in the distance events.
The one thing I'm looking forward to is Jesuit did a great job of breaking up all of their guys.
Yeah, they've got a chance to really.
They're all just running one race between the 1,600. Michael's running 2 in the the 800 and the open 16. But these guys, if they want this record, they can go get it.
Yeah, and you know, their dominance in these distance events are, you know, the middle to long distance are, you know, they've got a chance potentially to pick up 54 points in those 3 events, and not even to mention, of course, they've already won the 4x8. That's another 10 points there. So,
and like I mentioned earlier, they've won the javelin. They've scored higher than they were seeded in the long jump and high jump. So they're performing at an elite level right now.
With a chance at this point to perhaps claim a district title. There's a lot of ways to do this. Here we go, set to go in the boys 1,600. The 2 Jesuit runners are the top 2 seeds. They get to operate from the inside. That is DeRoche and Vokey. You got Gabe Matoyer and Eli Levy from Brother Martin, along with Gage Baldessaro from Holy Cross, all operating from the inside in the top 5 spots.
Gabe has had a great season in his own right. He has come in with a PR 4:26 in the 1,600. He finished 6th in the state championship in cross country and 5th in indoors in the 3,200. So
sixth in the state, which also means first in the state by someone not from Jesuit.
Yes,
okay, the Jesuit ran 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
yeah, you take Jesuit out the mix, he's the state champion, right? Yeah, that's a great point. Everybody was running for the 6th place on that Saturday. Well, I think it was a Monday this year. Up in Natchitoches at Northwestern State University, where the cross-country state championships are always held.
Right. That's Gage Baldessaro from Holy Cross with the early lead here as they'll pass the start-finish line for the first time.
Gage is a great runner in his own right as well. We have some great elite runners. Eli,
about 70 seconds on that first lap.
One of the things Jesuit likes to do is with these guys, they like to sit and wait, and they're going to start negative splitting here very soon.
Explain what you mean there, and that they're trying to make up time in every lap. But
absolutely. So what we tried to do in the mile is, obviously it's a 4-lap race, and you don't want to go out and run and sprint a 400 meters. You got 4 laps of that. So I know that the Jesuit guys, they historically have always dropped a negative split throughout the race, so which means that their next couple laps are going to be faster than their first ones. And I know last year these 2 young men finished with a 60, 61, 62 last lap, just opening it up. And I fully anticipate this happening today.
Well, you see a front pack there of 5. It's Baldessaro along with the 2 Jesuit runners and the 2 Brother Martin runners battling it out here early on, as we will hit the halfway point here in about 2:19 and change.
Okay, here we go. Let's see if they run around 3:15.
All right, and now we see a new leader there.
Uh-oh. I think that is Gabe from Brother Martin taking the lead, but Michael's right there on him.
Again, Vokey, the two-time defending district champion, like you mentioned, a two-time defending state champion in this event.
You got the 5 separating themselves, but there is a race for 6th place. That 1 point will matter in this team competition, and Carr is running 6th and 7th right now.
And now we see the two Jesuit runners going to the front here.
There they go.
As they hit the 500-meter mark, or the 600-meter mark, I should say. And you see the real separation now is about a 3 or 4 meter lead.
They're going to come through right at that 325. I misspoke saying 315, but 325 would be a negative split for him. And
that is Jack DeRoche taking the lead here.
Jack is the state champion in cross country.
Yeah, about 325, right as you called it there. So that was about a 65 or 66 second split there.
You said the district record is 5:16.
5:16 or 4:16. It would take a strong last lap here to take that out.
Jesuit is running for the points. It looks like
right, and DeRoche has separated himself, and now it's a it's a 4-man pack here.
Here he goes.
He's out there by himself with probably a good 30-meter lead.
This is what I wanted to see with Coach Rudy and his staff, breaking up their races. They're going for each one. Oh, man, he is picking it up. He's going to finish with about a 4:20, which is a fast time.
Yeah, his best for the year, 4:19. I'm not sure he's going to get there. He's not going to get there, but this is a strong effort. As he is
absolutely
running by lapped runners here and
Michael's
by himself down the stretch. And now Vokey is going to make this 1-2 for the Blue Jays in the 1600. About 4:27 unofficially. And we talked about getting those 18 points in these events. You can only enter 2. Brother Martin's going to run 3-4 here and pick up 10 points.
Just as I had them scoring 8 points with Gage finishing 4th. Gage finished 5th, so a little mix-up in the team standings from what I predicted, but I knew Jesuit was going to throw on a show, put down 18 points, and they did just that.
So Vokey, the two-time defending champion here, finishes in second place to his teammate, DeRoche. And it was Matoyer and Levy going 3-4 and picking up 10 points for Brother Martin. All right, so we're 4 running events in thus far. 2 boys, 2 girls. Your thoughts early on about what we've seen? We've seen, apparently a couple of records.
Yeah, I'm looking at the field event results. We have not gone over the boys, which, speaking of 18 points, Brother Martin picked up that in the discus. They had the champion and runner-up. That's a huge 18 points. Jesuit with a huge finish, finishing 3rd, scoring another 6 points. And, like I said in this mile, that 1-pointer for Carr, they just got a 1-pointer in the discus. Or Jesuit got that 1-pointer in the discus. Like, 7 points in a field event that they're not very strong in coming in. That is a huge swing for their team title.
By the way, we talked Carr's final time in the 4x200, 1:25.16.
Unbelievable.
So they shattered St. Aug's record by more than a second and a half.
Unbelievable. That is getting the baton around the track. I'm going to update you with what that bumps them up in the national ranking because they are not 33rd anymore. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy with what we can do up here in the booth. We can give you live stats, live results, give you up-to-date rankings in the country. It's unbelievable what we can do. Now the grunt crew is setting up the hurdles right now. We got the girls' 100-meter hurdles up next.
So the girls' 100-meter hurdles, the star of this one, at least based on past performance, is Georgia Wetzel of Mount Carmel, who's the 2-time defending champion in this event. But the best time coming in is Donjane Mansion of Edna Carr. We talked about Carr's impact coming in, especially in some of these sprints where their first year in the league, obviously they've got no history in this meet, but they're going to come in with a lot of.
They're making it today.
Yeah, they've got a chance. And it'll be Mansion in lane 4, Wetzel in lane 5, or check that, Mansion in lane 5, Wetzel in lane 6. Lane 1 will be open. We'll run this race in lanes 2 through 9. It'll be Paige Dean of Chappelle in lane 2, Virginia Turner, the runner-up a year ago from Dominican, in lane 3, Anila Green from Carr in 4, Donjane Mansion of Carr in 5, Georgia Wetzel from Mount Carmel in 6, Sophie Stein from Mount Carmel in 7, Emily Hazelwood from Dominican in 8, and Rachel Ann Potter from Archbishop Chappelle on the outside nearest the grandstand in lane 9.
Lenny, give me that official time in that 4x2 again from Carr.
Let's go back one more time here. And 1:25.16.
1:25.16 bumps them up to number 12 in the nation.
Oh.
That is amazing.
Let's see if that 1600 now is official. If that's, we said we had a record there as well. Yes, it is. And the final time for Reichert, 5:09.32.
Oh, that's moving.
That's 6 seconds.
We've had some amazing distance runners on the girls' side in the state. Malia Cali, Flatman from Benton, Olivia Murphy, Claire Crosby from Mandeville, all girls that ran sub-5, and not to mention the best of ever, the GOAT, Gabby Jennings. She's going to enter that category running 5:09 for sure. She's got 2 more years to keep improving.
The best mark in the state this year in the 1600 is Emma Berg from Houma Christians, 5:03.88. So,
yes.
But they won't. They're not a 5A school.
She's a 4A runner. They did run against each other in indoor with Reichard taking her in the 3200, but Emma won the 16. Yeah, across the not only is this district elite, the state has picked up its game in track and field. You got Catholic of Baton Rouge, obviously, always in contention. With Coach Pete Boudreau retiring a couple years ago, the living legend himself, winning over between indoor, outdoor, and cross country.
Yeah,
he probably has
50 state championships, I think it is. And let me tell you, he probably set another record a few years ago at the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame for the number of people that showed up to support Coach Pete at that event.
Absolutely. Coach Boudreau is a living legend, and I've had many pleasures of competing against him, and he is a very gracious competitor. Nothing but great things to say for the sport. Right. But what's crazy is Catholic has him, and then they get Coach Sean Brady from he was the head coach of Southeastern, which was I had the pleasure of running.
There you go. You see lanes 4, 5, and 6, where this race is potentially going to be decided. And that is in lane 6, Georgia Wetzel, who didn't have the best mark coming in, but she knows how to win this event, and she does it for the 3rd year in a row.
In a row. That's very impressive. Yeah, going back to Coach Sean Brady, coming back to the state of Louisiana, he spent the last 5 years coaching at Texas A&M, and he won multiple Assistant Coach of the Year. So Catholic goes from Pete Boudreau to Sean Brady, and that train is still rolling strong.
They can do that. All right, so coming up next, the 110-meter hurdles for the boys. They'll have to move the hurdles around.
And this is another highlight event.
This is a great event coming up here as you look at, Justin Horn from John Curtis, Tori Lambert from Brother Martin. They have been 1-2 in this event the last 2 years, and they have the 2 best marks in this event coming into tonight.
And you got 2 very, very good hurdlers in their own right with Michael Myers and Caleb Curry from Carr and Rummel, respectively. This is going to be a great showdown.
Yeah, and you mentioned this is this is the hurdles is an event where Louisiana tends to excel, particularly in the 300 hurdles, because it's not an event that's held in every state, and that gives Louisiana some opportunities, and they're outstanding as a result. But one of the things you look at here, Horn's best time this year, 13:64. If he can run that back, are you talking about old records here?
Yes.
1978 is the state. I'm sorry, not the state record, but the district championship record here by Tim McGee, 13:85. That is the mark potentially in play here. And again, Horn's best this year is 13:64.
Yeah, I might be a little biased on saying this, but I've had the pleasure of coaching him the last 4 years, and he is an outstanding young man. He is actually going to Texas Tech on a football and track scholarship, so he's going to tackle the next level in both sports. He was the defensive MVP in football this year.
As a linebacker,
as
right? So he's a linebacker and a hurdler. That just I guess you could attack hurdles like you attack ball carriers, but
absolutely. And he's done that very well. But he's a very accomplished track event athlete in himself. He finished 4th place at the New Balance Nationals in Boston. Finished in 4th place in the 60-meter hurdles, which we haven't had a Louisiana finisher that high in a very long time. But he is also the defending state champion in the 110-meter high hurdles. So let's see what these young men can do.
So the lanes we'll be watching here, it's Horn in 5, it's Lambert in 6. Markel Miles from Edna Carr's got the 3rd best time coming in, is in lane 4, and Caleb Curry of Archbishop Rummel in lane 7. The rest of the field, Jaden Hunter from Carr is in 2. Dylan Jurette from Brother Martin is in 3. Brant Blanchard from Jesuit in lane 8.
Yeah, the hurdle crew is setting up the 110-meter hurdles. They got to bump them up 6 inches and
move them in a different spot because there's the same amount of hurdles, but it's a race that's 10 meters longer.
Yes, sir.
The thumbs up. They are ready. We're going to be a little bit.
It looks
like a little bit obtruded at the outset by that tree that hangs out there, but we'll quickly be able to see all the runners. Matt Merritt bringing you all the pictures this evening from high above Tad Gormley Stadium here in City Park in New Orleans on a picture-perfect Thursday evening for track and field. Could not ask for better conditions to run this meet.
100% agree with that, Lenny.
Low 80s. We'll drop into the 70s as things wrap up and the sun starts to set in front of us. Getting set for the start.
As a former hurdler in high school and college myself, this is an event that I always truly enjoy to watch.
Here we go.
Oh.
Horn off
Three-man
to a good
race.
start.
So is Markel from Carr.
Yeah. Horn in the middle right there. Over the 9th hurdle, over the 10th hurdle, and he is across the line.
Ooh.
Don't think that was in record territory there, but it looked like Miles might have gotten in ahead of Lambert for second. We'll see the official results. Horn, 13:97 unofficially.
I believe that is his 7th or 8th time breaking the 14-second barrier, which is absolutely incredible.
His 3rd straight year winning the district championship. Check that. Lambert did get down for second. I'm sorry. Lambert at 14:22.
Oh, that is. I know. Talking with Coach Dupe yesterday, he was looking forward to seeing.
They corrected. I'm sorry. They put Miles ahead of Lambert.
Okay.
Miles at 14:21. I thought that was close for a second. Miles 14:21. Lambert at 14:22. Curry finished 4th at 15:29. So the 4 we liked in this, based on past performance, are the 4 that move on to regionals.
Absolutely. Just to go off of what Coach Dupe said last night, Lambert ran 14:66 a week ago. He's been suffering with a tweaked hamstring, and he hasn't been running as good as he has been during his career, but he ran his PR last week, just crushed his PR just now with a 14:22, which is absolutely crazy that's 3rd place.
Terrific race there. Now we're going to get the next event. They'll lose the hurdles, and we'll run the flat 100-meter dash, and we will see flights against time here, although the lower-seeded runners are in the first flight and not likely to end up placing. Although, again, you never know with these things, especially for some of the lower places. Could grab a point somewhere. But we'll have 2 flights of the 100-meter dash coming up next. The girls first, and then the boys after that. So 4 races coming up. Olivia Bordes from Dominican will be in the second flight on the girls' side. She is the defending champion in this event. Although London Parker of John Curtis, who was second back in 2021, actually has the fastest time coming in.
Yeah, Olivia is one of these other girls from Dominican that I've been saying. She's only a sophomore, and she's already a well-established track athlete. Looking forward to seeing what she can do the next couple years as well.
Well, one of the things I think you see across all sports right now, and with you training athletes, you get this as well as anybody. You see people being able to excel at an earlier age than maybe what they would do otherwise, where ordinarily you might see a lot of juniors and seniors competing, especially when you only have 2 spots in each event. But you're seeing freshmen and sophomores and maybe even some 8th graders out there who are excelling at an earlier age to get a chance to, to compete, on this highest stage out here in this district championship meet.
Yeah, this definitely does not feel like a district championship, Lenny. This is beyond that.
Yeah, it's and look, the one thing that when we cover high school sports on a broad base at Crescent City Sports, district championships in the Catholic League mean more than any other district. And that's whether it's on the team side or certainly tonight on the individual side as well. That's what matters. And you can win a district championship. You got a tough event in some cases. It might even be tougher than what you're going to face in the regional and state championships in some of these events, just because of the depth of what is in this field.
I agree.
All right, so coming up next, again, it will be the 100 meters. Let's see because we had some other.
Yeah, the field.
Let's update some. Not only I'll let you get into the field events here, in just a minute, but let's update the scores here real quickly.
Yeah,
Mount Carmel has taken a big lead in the team score on the girls' side, 77 points. Carr second with 47, Dominican 43, Curtis 22, Chappelle 19. On the boys' side, Jesuit 92.
Oh, man.
John Curtis 76, Brother Martin 47, Rummel 26, Carr 19, Holy Cross 13, and St. Augustine 6. Now, again, you're talking about a couple of these events, these most recent events may not be included in that yet. Most of your field events are now in, so it's, now we're going to start to see some of that balance change here a little bit.
Yeah,
perhaps.
one of my predictions, I talked with a bunch of the coaches throughout last night. I said whoever was the first to 110 would probably take the title. Jesuit is literally an 800-meter event away from doing just that.
And that will be after the 100. We'll run the 800, where Jesuit has the top 2 times in the event, in Michael Vokey and Zach Blanchard, and a good 4-second edge on the next runners out there. So they will be big favorites to get 1-2 there.
I'll go ahead and finish the boys' field events while the girls are getting settled in at the 100 meters. We got the boys' shot put results in, and a bit of an upset over our guy Evan Stevens from Rummel with the upset over Samuel from Brother Martin.
Yeah, Sam Miltenberger was the number 1 seed coming in, but Stevens wins the event.
Stevens wins the event, and his teammate finishes 3rd. So Rummel picking up a big 16 points there.
Yeah, Rummel was seeded 2-3 coming in, but they go 1-3, and that's big on the scoring front certainly, and that's probably helped vault them in the 4th place at this point. All right, so we get set for the first heat.
All right, we got a little bit of an upset action going on in the boys' triple jump.
All right, let's get to that in just a minute here.
Absolutely.
As soon as they run the first heat of the girls' 100. That is Deanne Hatfield of Chappelle all the way on the inside, and Hatfield is going to take this first flight, and that's a better time than what she came in with. Her seed time was 13:49. She ran that in sub-13, it appeared.
As these girls getting settled in the blocks, go over this boys' triple jump. Tyler Hayes, the defending triple jump champion and long jump champion today, reigns his crown with a jump of 42 feet 10 inches with a huge upset. Lance Williams finishing 2nd from Edna Carr, and Kyron Sumler, the high jump champion, finishing 3rd. And
Sumler won this event 2 years ago.
As a freshman.
Hayes is the defending champion, so he successfully defends his title.
And the last qualifier for the regional meet is another young man from Jesuit, Berner, with a jump of 41 feet 8 inches.
So again, 4 more points there for Jesuit as they have the lead at the moment in the district race. Mount Carmel, the 2-time defending champion, leading on the girls' side. We get set for
the girls,
what you want to call the main flight of the girls 100. They're in the blocks. Olivia Bordes in lane 6. London Parker was second in this event 2 years ago, is in lane 5.
Olivia with a great start.
Yeah. And she is pulling away from the field, but closing is Parker. Can she get there?
Oh!
Might have been Aleem. What a great finish. Parker falls down about 5 steps past the line, but we have to wait for the results on this one. But Parker may have gotten the lane. In fact, she did. 12:53. Bordes 12:56 unofficially there.
If that was the 99-meter sprint, Olivia would have won that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not.
So Parker, who was second in this event 2 years ago, had the best time coming in and gets it done right there at 12:53. Bordes second in 12:56.
So all the boys' field events are in the books except for the boys' pole vault, and it looks like Jesuits round the runway misses the bar. And, of course, we have all of the girls' scores for the field events except for the girls' pole vault, but I know that's complete. They just probably haven't got the results in yet. But
yeah, a lot of that is being done. You see the tent right next to the finish line as we pass by the line. That is where the meet scoring is taking place. That's where the timing is taking place, and they bring in those. They're not the scoring on the field events is not done in real time. It's entered after the event is completed. So that's why there's a little bit of delay on that coming in, and I guess that's the last that if the pole vault is now over, perhaps that is the end of the field events.
That looks like that was his last attempt from the young man from Jesuit, which means that he won the event.
Right.
Once this race is over, the Heat 1's in the blocks.
All right, so Heat 1 of the boys 100 meters, off and running. Marlon Prout has the best time in the field, although on the outside there, that is Bryce Pixley from Brother Martin, who is trying to get home first, and he does.
And Bryce is also an elite 400-meter runner. Wait to see what he does in that open 400 later on in the competition.
So Pixley just ahead of Marlon Prout. Outstanding running back in football for John Curtis.
Yeah, once the go ahead and give a rundown of this event for the
sure, let's get it set up for the main section here, section 2 here in the boys 100 meters. They're in the blocks. Your Cross Johnson of Holy Cross, the guy to watch in lane 5. You got 9 across the track here. He won this event a year ago. Michael Turner of John Curtis is in lane 7. He was third in this event, but also watch Raji Dennis of Endicott in lane 6 and Josh Brown of Holy Cross lane 3.
This is a competition versus the 2 best 100-meter runners from last year. Dennis, 4A state champion. Johnson, 5A state champion.
There you go. So 5, Johnson in 5, and Dennis in 6.
And it definitely, looking forward to next week, you got a runner from Warren Easton, Jermaine Smith-Mata. He was ineligible last year, and he has run some blazing times. So they're going to, if we can get clean through this event, there's going to be a showdown next week in Thibodaux.
All right, so waiting for the start here on this second heat in the boys 100 meters.
We have some elite times in this 100 meters.
Yeah, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runners who have run between 10:52 and 10:69. Give you an idea.
And the more impressive thing about that, Lenny, is 3 juniors, 2 sophomores, 1 freshman.
There you go. Yeah, we didn't mention Josh Brown of Holy Cross in lane 3, who run 10:66.
One of the
Nazir
sophomores.
Caesar of Archbishop Rummel,
Freshman.
10:69.
That is an outstanding time for a freshman.
Everyone in this second flight has run under 11 seconds this year. You got the potential for a great finish at the line.
And you got Johnson from St. August going to,
here we go.
Clean start.
Good start. Look in the middle of the track there. There's Cross Johnson. And right next to him, that's Raji Dennis. And on the outside of lane 4, that was Cameron Hardy from Carr, who may have gotten up to win it.
Unbelievable. That last 20 meters was impressive.
10:42 and change, just 1/100th of a second off the meet record of 10:41 set 31 years ago by Carlos Jones from Archbishop Shaw. Wow. That is unofficial. 10:42. I guess it will round up to 10:43, 10.426. Dennis at 10.46. So Carr's going to run 1-2 and pick up 18 big points in this event.
That is a huge event swing right there.
And Cross Johnson third in 10.524. So Johnson, the defending champion,
we're still at the district meet, right? We're still at the district meet, Lenny?
Yeah, this is I mean, look, what did you end up with here? You ended up with how many? Well, now they've cleared it. But, I mean, what, you had 10 run, or four of your runners in that race run 10:52 or less right there. What a great finish at the line there.
There's nothing to be ashamed of by those athletes. That was a very impressive performance. And all of those young men are going to be in the 4x1. Cannot wait for that event to show up. Official time in for the boys. Cameron Hardy with the top 25 time in the entire nation with his 10.43. Raji Dennis, 10.47, top 50 time in the nation. Josh Brown, sophomore from Holy Cross, 10.52. Cross Johnson, 10.53.
And that's the 4 who will move on. So that's what you talk about how hard that is.
50 in the entire nation.
And look at the guys now who finished below that who can't move on.
You have 8th place ran a 10.93. That is incredible. 9th place ran a 10.98. That you can't make this up. This is one of the most elite 100 meters the state has ever seen on one track. 4 top 50 times in the nation. And like you just said, the 5th and 6th places.
Kingston Jones finished 5th in 10.75. That was a top 25 time in the nation. It's not good enough to move on. Or in the state, I'm sorry.
It's
and a PR. So
you got 2 guys who ran top 25 times in the entire state that are staying home in this event. Wow.
All right, so coming up next, it will be the girls' 800 meters.
And the best part about this, Lenny, like I mentioned, the top 8 runners, all underclassmen, we're going to run this thing back next year. Wow, unbelievable. Huge 18-point. That's a
big, you know, if Carr is going to win this district championship in their first year in the Catholic League, we may look back at that race, and that's why they end up doing it.
Lenny, how many 18 eventers do we already have? We have Brother Martin with 18 in the shot put, or the discus.
Jesuit with 18 in the 1600.
And you got
they've got a chance to do it again here in the 800.
And that's unbelievable. That's 3 different schools that threw up an 18-point performance.
And that's, of course, all you can get because the most you can have is 2. Let's check the updated scores here. Girls side, Mount Carmel 77, Carr 52, Dominican 49. They are the top 3. On the boys side, Jesuit 90, John Curtis 84, Brother Martin 54, Carr 51. So Carr, look, they've got the chance to make up some ground here because obviously they're getting into their stronger events here. Yeah. You know, as we start to see more sprints, and of course you got the 4x4 relay coming up. They picked up 18 there. So, you know, a lot of, a lot of time to go here.
I have Carr scoring 81 points on the track alone, and that was without them going 1-2 in the 100 meters. So they're well on pace to shatter that. 81 points through 11 track events is very, very impressive.
Well, while we have a short break in the action, it does give us a chance
Yeah, we got to give some shout-outs to these ladies in their field events. We got to.
Yeah, go ahead and update me real quick on the field events if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Let's go with the girls shot put. We have Renee Anderson. Renee Anderson is an elite thrower. She actually started her career at De La Salle and was an individual state champion for them. Transferred over to Carr last year. She won the state championship in the shot put and discus last year in 4A. She comes with this Carr's first time in the district champion with a throw of 36.8. Kiva Thomas from John Curtis, who's very familiar with this district, finishes second. The Amani Daniel, she just made her district debut today, finishing third with a throw of 32.6. And to round out the qualifiers for the regional meet next week is Jessica Runnels from Mount Carmel with a throw of 32.5.
Yeah, Thomas was the defending champion and was the third-place finisher 2 years ago.
So in the girls' discus, Kiva and Renee flopped spots. Renee was the favorite to win. Kiva outthrew her today. She threw 115.9. Renee threw 112.7. I also will point out that they're both summer teammates for our club Trojan Elite Track. So they know each other very well, and they train with each other during the summer. So it's good to see them have a healthy competition and each getting an individual title. But Chappelle getting themselves on the board with some qualifiers. They have two girls finishing third and fourth, Kaylee Dublin and Bailey Carroll.
So basically the seeds held there just a little bit out of order. Thomas ahead of Anderson, but Dublin and Carroll came in third and fourth. Carroll was the defending champion in that event.
Wow. Yeah, that's how getting Carr added to the district just made it that much more, gave it that much better competition. So Bailey punching her ticket to regionals as is Kaylee. We got to go through the girls' javelin. Sophia held serve on my prediction. She threw the winning throw of 114 feet 2 inches from Mount Carmel. We got Marissa Renderly.
Renderly, yeah.
From Chappelle, another girl punching her ticket.
Yep. And let me tell you, what a great athlete she is. Okay,
Absolutely.
I know her and the family very well, and look, whatever she wants to compete in, she's going to be really good at it. She's
Absolutely.
a goalkeeper in soccer.
There you go.
And
And that's the common.
a great bowler. I mean, she could whatever it is she wants to take on, she can do. And she's finished second here in the javelin, and we'll move on to regionals.
That's a common theme. These athletes are not only just track athletes. There are a bunch of
athletes,
multi-sport athletes that have accomplished a lot in each of their sports. And to go off of what you said about how these young athletes, Caitlin Bird, 8th grader from Dominican, punching her ticket in the javelin, throw of 97.9.
That's 7 feet better than her entering mark.
Oh, unbelievable. And the last qualifying spot is Lily Fontenot from Mount Carmel with a throw of 84 feet 10 inches.
More than 4 feet over her qualifying mark. So
that's the one thing that this kind of competition level does. It brings the best out of each athlete.
So Sophie Juni is 114.2 for her mark, and Renderly 104.9, which is a PR. We talk about 12 feet over her best this year.
Yeah, those girls threw those implements pretty far today. So going into the jumps, we got Olivia Boards, who was the top seed coming into the event today. She won the long jump, and she finished second in that 100 meters.
Mm-hmm.
We got Aubrey Johnson from Mount Carmel, another 8th grader, finishing second, 15.3. Got another girl, Jaya Washington from Carr. And to round out the last qualifier for the regionals is you're going to have to help me out with this last name, Laney
Stuprich from Chappelle, yeah.
So she punches her ticket for next week as well, rounding out the 4 qualifiers for that.
And she moved up. She came in as the number 5 seed in this event. So
we got the 800 meters on the track, white flag at the break line.
Yeah, getting set to go here. Girls 800 meters.
The 800 meters at big meets, we run what we call a one-turn stagger. The ladies stay in their lane for the first 100 meters, break in at the point after 100 meters where they can go into lane 1, giving them a clean start.
Top seed in this event is in lane 1. It's London Parker of John Curtis, who's run 8 seconds faster than everyone else, and she's gotten out to a big lead here.
London Parker is an elite 800-meter runner. She's coming in with a PR of 2:16.46. She has 2 top 3 finishes under her belt in the 800 and indoor-outdoor. So she's got lots of race experience in this event.
She has really distanced herself early there. Way out there. Out of our camera shot, in fact.
Go ahead and run down the girls' triple jump.
She
after
heads into the
London
lane
runs
here,
through.
and she is way out in front here. Probably a good 40 meters out in front here as she's going to cross the start-finish line for the first time.
I know personally from being Coach Preston Curtis's lead assistant for the last year.
107 for the first 400 meters. The district record, by the way, is a 27-year-old mark, 2:19.38. Is that in play here?
I think it could be because right on cue, Coach Preston's strategy is he wants his 800 runners to be +3 to +5 seconds on that second lap. That will put her right in contention to breaking this record.
She's growing that lead.
We're going to let
London Parker of John Curtis.
We're going to let her finish this race off before I go into these field events, Lenny.
It's like she's slowing up a little bit down the backstretch here.
If anybody has ever ran at 800 meters, they know that that lactic acid builds up very quickly, and it is hard to push through. But she looked like she just found another gear on the top of the curve.
No one is going to challenge her here down the lane, it appears.
The meet record is safe, but she is going to put herself in great position to qualify for the state meet next weekend.
You got a pack of Mount Carmel runners. It appears Lucy Quintana and Sophia Meneses, who came in second and third. And that would, I guess, be Taylor Payne of Edna Carr, who's going to qualify.
London Parker walked through the finish line. I know Coach Preston will not like that very much.
And so Carr will grab that fourth spot, not only the spot in the regionals, but 4 big points right there.
We've still got one lady on the track. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the girls triple jump. The event winner from Mount Carmel, Aubrey Johnson, a 8th grader, district champion in 8th grade. It'd be fun to see if she can continue that throughout her career.
Win 5 times.
Yeah, you can't win 5 events in a row if you don't win the first one. And we got Jaya Washington from Carr with 2nd place in the triple jump, 31.9. Leah Charles from Dominican, 31.8. And rounding out the regional qualifier, Samantha Wild, also from Dominican, with 30 feet 1 inch. And the last event for the girls that have scored already is the girls high jump. And wow, this was not how I had it going. Got Bryce Cullivan from Cuvion, from Dominican, 4:10. And Aubrey just won the triple jump. She finishes 2nd place in the high jump with her teammate Alexandria Oliveri.
She was 3rd. She was the 2-time defending champion in this event.
Exactly. I had her winning. I had her going 3rd, getting her triple crown. She finishes 3rd, and then Bridget Palomero from Dominican rounding out the regional qualifiers.
Palomero, the runner-up a year ago in this event.
Pole vault results are in, Lenny. Let's go with that. Wow, Leah Odo finishing 2nd. That was not what I had, but the elite pole vaulter in this district, Natalie.
Natalie Juaron from Mount Carmel. This is her 3rd straight district championship.
She, I believe, was the runner-up in outdoor last year. She was runner-up in indoors this season, which is with a pole vault of 12 feet, which that is jumping very high. All right, the boys 800.
Getting set, yeah. You see them running 2 to a lane here, as this will be running 1 heat.
Somebody cut off. Somebody, looks like from Carr, went from lane 5 to 2, so he should be disqualified.
We'll wait and see. I have not seen a red flag go up just yet.
And, of course,
we may see it here.
He cut off the 2 Jesuit runners, which I have not seen that at this level of competition before.
So Michael Vokey on the inside is the two-time defending champion in this event. Came in with a seed time of 1:57.73. The district record here is a 45-year-old mark held by Brian Stark.
Unbelievable.
And this is a car runner out front, but here come the Jesuit runners to make this 1-2 at the halfway mark. That's St. Aug on the outside. That would be Vokey and Zach Blanchard along with Kaiser Dunbar.
Yes, the second St. Aug runner, not Dunbar, was the one who broke in instantly.
Dunbar is going out, trying to chase down this lead Jesuit runner here.
We got Rommel coming, making a move at 600 meters. Luke, he's moving up to third. Volke looking like he's fighting a little bit. This is going to be a very close race at the end for the top four spots.
Yeah, certainly for fourth.
Michael Volke has dropped down to sixth place. Did he get his legs taken out from him in the mile?
I don't know. Zach Blanchard.
Oh. Fighting for their 156.
156 and change will not be a record.
Ooh.
Oh, dive at the finish.
All right, Michael, one of the elite runners in this state, did not qualify for the 800. That is a very, very tough double. That 1600, 800 double is very hard to complete. As you can see, that Michael is definitely one of the more premier runners in this state.
Blanchard wins it in 156.93. That's a season best.
And looks like all of the results from the field events are in.
Landon Davis of Holy Cross came in seated third. He runs second.
Nice.
In sub 2 minutes. Kaiser Dunbar of St. Aug is third. Fresnel Colbert Jr. of Carr finishes fourth. And Michael Vokey comes in fifth. And that's one, you talked about potentially 18 points here. Instead, that's 12. That's 6 points. You know, what could potentially be a tight race that Jesuit doesn't get right there. They do get 12, but, you know, with the two top seeds in that event, you thought maybe they might get 18. Gage Baldessaro finishes sixth, just ahead of Anthony Johnson from John Curtis for the last scoring spot in that event.
Nice. They're punching their ticket for regionals. Cameron Gandalf from Rummel finishing fourth in the pole vault. Owen Flores from Brother Martin third. Another young man, freshman from Jesuit, Jude Cannon, finishing second with the vault of 11 feet. And the winner, I'm not even going to try to say this name, Lenny, but he's Vinny from.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Vinny Spazzali from Brother Martin, who has been outstanding.
District champion, 11 feet 6 inches.
Yep.
See if he can punch his ticket at regionals next year.
Third in this event a year ago. Comes away with the district title here.
All the field events are in and complete. It's only track races and events from here on out.
All right, so while we wait, next up on the track, by the way, is the 4x100 meter relay. One of my favorite events always to watch at any track meet. But before we get into team scores, chance to remind you that our coverage tonight on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by Gibbs Construction, a leader in the construction industry in Louisiana and the Gulf Coast for more than 45 years, transforming dreams, visions, and plans into reality. Gibbs Construction. Our thanks to Larry Gibbs. Everything he does for amateur athletics, in not just with us at Crescent City Sports, but throughout the entire New Orleans area. Okay, the Mount Carmel lead over Edna Carr now 89-52. Dominican closing in on Carr for second with 49. John Curtis 36. Chappelle 21. Rounds out the girls' scoring. Jesuit gets to 100. They have a 16-point lead over John Curtis at 84. Brother Martin is third with 70. Carr with 51. Rummel 34. Holy Cross 23. St. Aug 9. As we look at the scoring on the boys' side. I do not know if that includes the 800 yet. So that may your race for 110 may not have factored in just yet in that.
We're running out of events here, Lenny. We got 6 events left of the competition, which, like you just said, the 4x1 is up next. Then you've got followed with the 400 meters, which has a whole field of elite runners. Then you got the 300 hurdles, 2 mile, they're 3,200. Excuse
200
me,
meter dash.
300 hurdles, 200 meter dash, 3,200 meters.
And then, as always, the 4x400 meter closes out the event. And always a lot of fun to close things out with that. But first up, again, they're putting the blocks back out there for the 4x100 meter relay. And on the girls' side, John Curtis is the defending champion. Dominican won this event in 2021. The best time, though, comes from Endicott, who were running lane 5. They have a best this year of 50.06.
Oof. That's getting the baton around. Let's see if they can.
Mount Carmel with the second fastest time of 51.77. So your lineup here will be Chappelle in lane 3, Dominican in 4, Carr in 5, Mount Carmel in 6, Curtis in 7.
One of the things we're looking for to see if all the exchange zones are clear to go. We need 3 white flags around before the starter gets the clearance to start this fantastic event. One of the more premier events in this in track and field. This is always a crowd pleaser.
The thing about it is the great thing about relays is you can see dramatic changes that you don't see in individual events.
Absolutely. You get a good exchange from one team, a okay exchange from another. That significantly plays a role in the outcome of that event.
As you mentioned, we are down to 6 events.
We still
remaining.
Have red flags all around the exchange zones. The ladies are getting their marks.
Yeah, we run 12 events on the track, 7 in the field. All of the field events are done, and we've completed half of our track events.
Yeah, this meet is rolling by pretty quickly. I'm going to be very sad when this thing's over. This has been quality entertainment.
Again, right now, your leaders, Mount Carmel on the girls' side with 89. Pretty good lead there of 37 points over Edna Carr, with Dominican just behind in third. On the boys' side, Jesuit with a 16-point lead over John Curtis, a 30-point lead over Brother Martin.
We got a white flag in exchange 1, 2, and 3. All right, the starter is getting them in the blocks.
All right. Getting set to go here for the 4x100. Once again, it will be Chappelle in lane 3, Dominican in 4, Carr in 5, Mount Carmel in 6, John Curtis in 7.
John Mayer getting ready, the starter from Crescent City timing. Looks like he's reloading the pistol right now. Getting ready to roll. As an official starter myself, these relays are very hard to judge because of the different stagger starts. It's very hard to see every single part of the event.
Yeah, you got to get yourself in just the right position where you can see it. Now it looks like they're making some adjustments here to give them a different headset, perhaps. We get ready for the start. Off and running.
Let's see what these exchanges look like, Lenny.
And you want to look for the handoffs and when they happen to see who's got the edge. 6 and 7 look like they have the lead at this point on that first exchange. That's Mount Carmel and John Curtis. And it looks like Mount Carmel getting out to a bit of the lead here across the backstretch.
About 3 years or maybe even 4 seasons ago, the National Federation of Track and Field changed the exchange zone 10 meters longer to expand it.
Mount Carmel with the lead as we get set for the final exchange.
Mount Carmel with another great
And they've got a huge lead coming down the stretch. And this will be all Cubs.
Lenny, that is a shocker. I did not see that one happening.
Mount Carmel with the win. That is Dominican second. That is Carr third. John Curtis 4th, and Chappelle 5th. Mount Carmel had the second best time coming in, but they were much the best right there.
Just like the 4x2, Lenny, this 4x1 is absolutely stacked and loaded with great talent. There's 3 teams ranked in the top 100 in the nation. Carr is the 100th ranked team, and as you've seen in the 4x2, they blew their seed time away. I guarantee if they get this baton around, they will not remain in that. We got Holy Cross as the 23rd ranked team in the entire nation, followed by John Curtis. And we haven't even mentioned Rummel or St. Aug or Jesuit. This is going to be a fantastic race.
Yeah, it'll be Jesuit in lane 2, Rummel in lane 3, Carr in 4. Holy Cross is the defending champion in this event in lane 5. John Curtis in 6, St. Augustine, the 2021 champion, in lane 7, and Brother Martin in lane 8. Holy Cross, the best time in the district coming in, a seed time of 41.09. Now, this is something else to keep in mind. We talked about records. The district record, the district championship record, is 41.61 by St. Aug back in 2001. Well, Holy Cross and John Curtis have both topped that time this year. Holy Cross ran 41.09. John Curtis ran 41.15. Well, we don't get the lineups up here of what of who is running what. You've got to believe that the anchor could come down to Cross Johnson and Curtis has got some options. Michael Turner, Justin Horn, where exactly what they might be doing.
Looks like Turner's on the anchor for Curtis. Yeah, well,
okay.
I got a bunch of coaches from all over the state texting me right now, and it's just not me saying how elite this meet is. They are letting me know these are some outstanding performances.
By the way, let's quickly update the scores here before they get ready to run. Mount Carmel has extended the lead now, 107-58 over Carr. Mount Carmel's got a chance to have this thing put away before the last 2 events are even run. Jesuit 111, John Curtis 84. You said the first to 110 might be the winner?
That is correct, and that looks like my prediction on that is going to hold
again, Jesuit's got one strong event still to come, and that's the 3,200 meters. Now the question is, can Curtis or Brother Martin or Carr make up some ground here with the 4x1, the 400, the 300 hurdles, the 200, and the 4x4? What kind of ground can they make up in those 5 events? Is it enough to overtake the Blue Jays, who would in theory be favored to pick up 18 points in the 3,200? But as we saw a moment ago,
upsets happen.
These things happen. You don't know what's going to happen on the track on a given day. You thought Jesuit would be in line to get 18 points. In the 800, they only got 12.
Yes, that's very true, Lenny. Anything can happen. As you saw in the 100, that was a huge point swing that we didn't see happening. We got another relay that literally anything can happen in this race. They have to execute 3 handoffs at a very high level. These athletes are running very, very fast. The execution has to be perfect. I've seen some crazy things happen in this event. Let's see if these young men can get it around, the baton around the track.
See a couple of white flags, waiting to see. Don't have a white flag yet on the 3rd exchange, I believe. We'll get set here as they're getting down for the start. Again, from inside to out, Jesuit, Rummel, Carr, Holy Cross, Curtis, St. Aug, Brother Martin, and off we go in the 4x1.
Another clean start.
Looks like a great start for St. Aug in lane 7.
Ooh, yes, it is.
And
Holy Cross making up ground.
They will make the handoff first.
Marlon Prout to Tyler Hayes, John Curtis.
Curtis is right there as well. Curtis trying to close that stagger a little bit.
Holy Cross right there. Holy Cross.
Maybe a 3-horse race, maybe a 4-horse race. Look at the outside lanes, 5, 6, and 7. What a race this is turning out to be as we get to the last exchange. Who's going to get it first? It looks like Holy Cross at 5.
Oh, we got Dennis Raji from Carr. Wow.
Carr trying to close, but this is going to be Holy Cross across the line first as they defend their title. And let's see what the running time was.
No red
41:39. That is a new meet record.
Congratulations, fellas. No white flags, clean handoffs. Great event.
22-year-old Mark from St. Augustine wiped off the books right there as Holy Cross runs 41:39. Just a tick below their best of the year, but good enough
For 10 points.
for 10 points and a district record. John Curtis second at 41:64. Carr third at 41:91. So you had 3 teams run under 42 seconds. St. Aug is fourth at 42:49. That's good enough to get them to move on to regionals. Then it was Rummel, Jesuit, and Brother Martin to follow.
These young men and women are putting on a show right now.
So coming up next, it will be the 400-meter dash. Again, girls first, followed by the boys. Both here, girls and boys, will run 2 different heats against time. Top seed on the girls' side, Layla Johnson of Edna Carr. She'll be in the second heat. She ran 59:10. She's the only runner on the girls' side to run under 1 minute this year. And on the boys' side, Cameron Hardy from Edna Carr, 47:39, his best mark of the year. And
that time
would be a district record if he can run it back.
And that is the 27th fastest time in the nation. And he just made a huge upset in the 100 meters. I'm sure that young man's fired up. He is going to put on a very fast race.
Believe he had the best time in the state
That is
in
correct.
the 100, 200, and 400 coming in. Now, again, he can only can't enter everything.
Yes.
You know, they want to keep him around for relays, so he's running the 100 and the 400 and not the 200.
And right on cue with that, I talked to some of the coaches last night, and his in particular, the coaches were looking, they said they didn't want to do this, but they were looking ahead of the next couple rounds. This year at the state competition is the first time that they're splitting up. They're taking the 3A competition out of the meet. It's historically been 3A, 4A, 5A, all competing on the same day.
Made things happen a little bit slower, stretched out the timing of the meet.
Exactly. So they're taking out the 3A so those guys don't get as much recovery as they've normally done. So these coaches of this helicopter pass.
I don't know if that was a flyover by design or what that was about there.
Yeah, it looks like we're not the only ones who want to watch the show.
There you go.
But, yeah, so some of these coaches were looking ahead on making sure that their athletes get the best opportunity to perform at the highest level at the state competition with the correct recovery. So that's why you see some of these athletes not necessarily in their main events, like London Parker for John Curtis. She is an elite 400-meter runner, but she's also running the 800, which was a couple of events ago. That is a killer double. I would never want to try to do that myself. But yeah, that has definitely played a key in this season for postseason, because these kids need the right recovery at the state meet in Baton Rouge in 2 weeks at Bernie Moore Stadium at LSU. The meet has definitely been running very efficient. There's a time schedule that they follow very strictly in this district, so we have a few more minutes before the 7:30 start for the 400 begins. So what have your thoughts been so far on this great meet, Lenny?
Well, we're seeing record performances. We're seeing, obviously, the impact of Carr joining the league, and we're seeing the impact of Jesuits' ability to dominate in the distances and in some of the field events. That combination. I mean, if Jesuit is going to walk away with the title, and oh, by the way, Mount Carmel with their overall depth has held off all comers at this point as well.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, like I mentioned before, Coach Rudy, his game plan going into this meet was to tackle the field events by committee, and they executed that. So congratulations to him and those young men competing at a very high level and doing better than they projected to do. All right, looks like the 300 hurdles are all set up in position, getting ready to go after this 400-meter starts. That always
Okay,
can delay a meet.
gotta be prepared. Always prepared. It's one of the things that I noticed when we were getting ready to run the what I believe was the 1600.
Yes.
Is they were already setting up on the outside lanes.
Yes,
They
sir.
were setting up the hurdles to have them ready to go, and they're doing that again here. That's that'll be the 300 hurdles coming up next for girls and boys. But first, we've got the 400 meter.
Looks like the ladies from Heat 1 are starting to approach their blocks, getting ready to start their event.
Yep. There we go. We'll have 3 in this race. 2 from Chappelle, Mackenzie Vergis, and Ava Smith, along with Anna Hawes of Dominican. And 7 coming up in the second flight with the faster times, led again by Layla Johnson of Edna Carr.
One thing I definitely want to point out, just competing against all of these coaches in this district, there's reasons why this meet is so elite. The coaching in this district is top-notch. Every coach in this district has an event that they're specialty at, and it is proven through the results today. There's a lot of elite performances that have happened on the track.
And look, a tip of the hat to Brad Duplashan, the Brother Martin coach, who basically has to be an administrator for this and really doesn't get a chance to coach his own team very much because he's trying to run this meet. And
being in his shoes, being the meet director and the head coach of a team in contention, that is not an easy task to do. He has definitely relying a lot on his assistants today. And as you can see, they put on some pretty good performances so far, so I'm sure he's very proud of what his assistants have accomplished today with the team. As an assistant coach my whole career, I definitely appreciate all that stuff.
Yeah, Coach Dupe's a pretty good teacher as well, so it's like he's got it going on all ends. Here we go, first heat of the girls 400-meter dash. Is now the lights starting to take full effect, and off we go in heat number 1.
Yeah, Coach Dupe told me before the meet that this was his 11th meet hosting this season. He's glad that he's not doing it next week and the week after.
Right, now he can concentrate on coaching a little bit more.
And he is the 2-time defending district champion. I need to point that out.
Right.
He's a great coach and leads a great program.
This is Ava Smith, who has gotten way out to a lead here. Trying to kick this home and maybe in a fast enough time that perhaps she can steal a point or two for Chappelle. Smith out all by herself here in this 3-runner heat. Let's see if she can get this below her seed time, which was 1:09.2. I think she's got a chance to do that as she crosses the line unofficially in 1:07 and change. We'll wait and see what the official time is.
I'll tell you one thing, Winnie, with the sunset being up here in
1:06.8. Wow.
Oh, that should definitely carry over and score. But looking up with the sunset, being up in this press box, the Crescent City looks very beautiful.
Yeah,
tonight.
it is a great view as the sun's setting over Jefferson Parish, off in the distance to our west. It's ducked behind the clouds now, which I will tell you from this perspective isn't the worst thing in the world either. It's you get the sun, that beats down a little bit. It gets a little warm where we are, but just the same, we're hanging in there. All right, getting set now for the second of 2 flights or sections in this race. All eyes on Layla Johnson in lane 5, but
Edna Carr.
Madison Rito of John Curtis in lane 6 was second in this event a year ago. Peyton Marks of Mount Carmel in lane 7 was third in this event a year ago.
And we got a newcomer, Johanna McGinnis from Curtis, who's a 9th grader. She, I think, ran the 200 meters last year in this.
Yep, and she's in lane 4. Actually has the third fastest time coming in. So here we go. Early on, you see Johnson cutting off the stagger.
Oh, yeah, she
on
is.
On lane 6 there in Rito. And she's got a pretty commanding lead here.
She's got a beautiful stride.
Layla Johnson of Carr about to take over the lead as we head into the turn for home. And she will overtake the stagger on Peyton Marks here.
She has to run, with the lead was what, 101.6 in the first heat? She's
No, 1-0, I believe it was 1-0. No, it was 106 and
Oh,
change,
excuse
I believe.
me,
Yeah,
excuse me.
106 and change.
Yeah, she is going to definitely beat that mark.
Now, the question is, can she beat her season best of 59.10?
She's-
Don't think the district record of 57.01 is in play here. Slowing down a little bit down the lane, but still, this is going to be a very impressive performance by Layla Johnson, who was out fast and gets home in 1:01 and change. In fact, 1 minute .89 officially. Marks is second.
Adding to Mount Carmel's impressive lead.
Yep, another 8 points there. It's Kylie Henry, or check that, it's Amber Pellegrin from Mount Carmel who's going to come in third. Actually, no, that's revising here. Johanna McGinnis of Curtis is third. So you mentioned the youngster McGinnis. She gets in third. In fact, I believe Curtis finished third and fourth and picked up, what, that's 6 points there. Or,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
In the 5 teams.
Yeah,
scoring.
with 5 teams, yeah, we score, what, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1?
Correct.
So Johnson will get the win. Marks will finish second. We'll wait for those results to become official momentarily. But next up on the track, as they're set to go, is the boys'
Oh, already.
first flight of the
already
400
off.
meters.
Wasted no time.
Got
between heats.
two from Rummel, 1 from Holy Cross here. Dominic Pillow, Caleb Downs on the inside and outside, respectively. Aiden Williams from Holy Cross running in lane 5, and it's Williams who takes the lead here. Williams came in with a time of 55.25. His teammate will run in the next section, Cedric Harmon, who's got a best time of 53.85. Let's see how much ground Williams can put away here on this second turn. As he's going to stretch things out a little bit over Caleb Downs, but Downs may be trying to come back here, and look at Pillow trying to close on the inside. Dominic Pillow in lane 4 just taking everybody down here and will win this section in, wait for the unofficial time to come in, 56.2, which is right at his season best time.
All right, looking into this 400 final, we got some elite runners.
Yeah, you've got what, 4 runners here who have run sub 50 seconds this year, and none of that includes Austin Tatum of Brother Martin, who's the defending champion of this event. He'll be running in lane 8.
Is absolutely crazy. You got his teammate. What's his teammate's name?
That is Bryce Pixley, who we
Bryce.
saw earlier. You're right.
Bryce is one that, like we've mentioned before, the Mobile Meet of Champions, which is an elite meet in this region. He was the 400-meter champion at the Mobile Meet of Champions. And then you got King Taylor from John Curtis, who's got a couple runner-ups from indoor in his own career.
Yeah, the fastest time belongs to Cameron Hardy. We talked about him from Carr, 47.39.
And he made an upset and won the 100-meter dash. So let's see if he can get this double.
Pixley, the next fastest time. It'll be Hardy in lane 5, Pixley in lane 6. Let's run them down in the out here. Jeremy Gary of Edna Carr in lane 2. Dante Kelly of St. Aug in 3. King Taylor, third in this event a year ago from John Curtis in 4. Cameron Hardy of Carr in 5. Bryce Pixley of Brother Martin in 6. Kaiser Dunbar of St. Aug in lane 7, Austin Tatum from Brother Martin in 8, and Cedric Harmon from Holy Cross all the way on the outside in lane 9. Gun is up.
I'm interested to see how Dunbar runs after this 800-400 double. He has come in with a speed time of 49.48 seconds.
Interesting the different approaches. Some run out of blocks, some don't here.
Yes. This is another event that you have to stay in your lane for the entire race.
Bryce Pixley off to a fast start in lane 6. Quickly closes a stagger.
King Taylor and Carmen are definitely racing each other, trying to catch him. Bryce opened up significant amount of space there.
Pixley may have the lead as we turn for home.
The two young men coming up.
And we got closing on the outside right now.
This is going to be a 4-man race between the two Brother Martin, King Taylor, and Carmen from Carr.
Great race. Yeah, they closed Taylor and Hardy. And now it's Hardy down the middle of the track, pulling away.
Showing that 100-meter speed.
Yeah, he's got the ability to kick it home, and he does.
47. Let's see what that official time is.
47.75 was the district record, and that is gone. 47.51 by Cameron Hardy. We mentioned he came in at 47.39. He takes out the district record, which was 47.75 held by Jandon Briscoe. That only dates back to 2017.
Briscoe was a fantastic runner for Jesuit.
So it's Hardy followed by Taylor, followed by Kelly from St. Aug, Pixley of Brother Martin, Dunbar of St. Aug, Tatum of Brother Martin. So Carr will pick up 10 big points right there. Curtis gets 8. St. Aug will get 8 as well with a third and a fifth, and Brother Martin picks up 5, going 4 and 6 in that event. So we continue to see some records fall here. We talked about a couple of times here, there's a lot of very old records that sit in this district championship record book, and we're seeing some marks go down here this evening. So you've got teams performing at a peak level right now.
And they still got 2 weeks to go.
Yeah, again, the top 4 finishers will move on to the regional meet next Wednesday in Thibodaux for these teams. And then from there, the top 3 finishers move on from the regional meet, move on to the state championship.
And our region in Thibodaux is District 7, 8, and 9. That is the public school district in New Orleans and what we like to call the Bayou schools.
Yeah, the Bayou and the River Parish schools. For Destrehan, Hanville, East St. John, and of course down the Bayou way, you got Terrebonne, Thibodaux, Central Lafourche.
Central Lafourche is a program on the rise. People need to watch out for them.
Of course, Thibodaux hosts. They generally host that meet every year.
Yes, they do, and they put on a good competition. We're looking forward to doing the same thing this year.
All right. So once again, coming up next, it'll be the 300-meter hurdles, girls and boys. Let's see, we got an update on the team scores now as we are down to just 4 events remaining, 5 events. Let's see.
We're running out of events, man, and
yeah, quickly here. No, 4 events remaining: the 300 hurdles, followed by the 200, the 3,200, and the 4x4.
Yes, sir.
So let's see. I don't know if these are. I don't believe these scores are updated yet, but. Mount Carmel again with 107 points. Edna Carr 58, Dominican 56, John Curtis 46, Archbishop Chappelle 21. That's the girls' side. And on the boys' side, it is Jesuit with 111, John Curtis 84, Brother Martin 70, Edna Carr 55, Archbishop Rummel 36, Holy Cross 31, St. Augustine 15.
The fact that Mount Carmel has over 100 points in a 5-team scoring system already is very impressive.
Their depth just across the board. They can get you in a number of different ways. They get you in the sprints. They get you in the distances. They get you in the field events. So there's a lot of ways that they can pick up points.
Yes, sir. And they are putting that on full display for everybody to see right now.
And going after a 3rd consecutive district championship.
Just to remind people, I'm sure that they don't need to be remembered, but the 2020 season for all high school sports was cut short, so we did not have a district champion.
We had fall and winter sports at the end of At the end of boys basketball season, that happened to be the point where
we had, I believe, 1 week of outdoor track that year, unfortunately.
The indoor season got finished, and just a little bit. And then as we got into the spring seasons, baseball I think got through most of their non-district schedule, and that's about where things cut off for them, especially in the Catholic League. The one sport that we cover here at Crescent City Sports extensively that really got hurt a lot was bowling. Bowling finished their entire regular season. They were set to announce the brackets on the Monday that everything shut down.
Man.
And didn't get a chance. They got to complete a regular season, but then did not get a chance to have playoffs. And, of course, people who follow Brother Martin know they would have been certainly in position to win another state championship. But if you leave out 2020, Brother Martin has won 5 in a row. They actually honored their state champion team at a pep rally at school this morning, along with recognizing some of their other teams like the track team and other spring sports teams getting ready to compete for championships as well.
And we were just dating back to 2020. That was definitely one of my more disappointing things. Obviously, everybody had to deal with it, but our John Curtis Christian track team was in prime position to win a state championship that season. We had a lot of very good athletes led by Corey Wren, who was the only 4-time state champion indoor in the 60 meters, so he would have brought us home a lot of points back then. But like I said, everybody had to deal with it, so I wasn't the only one that got my dreams shattered that season. Again, this district is very stingent on their time. When it says 7:45 start time, that means 7:45 start time. We're not moving in early for any event. Trying to give these young men and women the correct and deserved recovery that they need to compete at their highest level.
While we have a moment, a chance to remind you once again that our coverage tonight on Crescent City Sports is brought to you by the Lamarck Motor Company in Kenner. Lamarck Ford, the #1 Ford dealer in the Metro New Orleans market. Must be a reason.
Again, thank you to all the sponsors. These young men and women definitely need to have the stage to show off their ability, and this does not happen without all of you guys.
Right, and look, this is something that we are doing at Crescent City Sports for the first time, is bringing you track and field, and this was an easy target to make the first event that you would certainly add on to here is the District 9 5A championship. So it's
if we're gonna make
it's lived up to it.
If you're gonna make a debut, this is the perfect one to do it.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of records already. 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe 5 records have fallen so far. Maybe missed one in there. So, look, it's been that kind of performance. And one of the things that we said earlier. Look, championships in the Catholic League matter.
Yes, they
do. And more so than any other district in Louisiana. And I say that without hesitation. And you say, okay, well, do you peak here? Do you peak a week or 2 weeks from now? No, you start peaking here, and you go from there. It's because this matters. To win a Catholic League title, whether it's as a team or as an individual, certainly makes a big difference. That district championship, whether again, in whatever way it shows up here, matters a lot to these young men and women.
I've had the privilege of winning district championships at every school that I've coached at. And what you just said, Lenny, the Catholic League district championship weighed a lot more than the other ones. This is the best track and field district in the entire state of Louisiana.
And the great part about it is you got schools going about it different ways.
Exactly. You can see the strategy by all these coaches' staffs. Loading up in relays.
Here we go. We're off and running here in the
300 hurdles.
300 hurdles.
every coach has a different strategy. Attack the field, attack the relays, attack the open events.
Yeah. You got the two in the middle there, Anila Green and Donjane Mansion of Edna Carr, along with the defending champion outside in lane 7 is Virginia Turner of Dominican. 4 hurdles to go. Let's see how this plays out here. And it looks like Carr is 1-2 at this point.
We got a race for 2nd through 5th. Who wants these spots?
This is all about Anila Green, it appears. Carr is going to pick up 14 big points with a 1-2 finish right here. And running third, that looks like Harper Griffin, a Dominican, in lane 3 may have gotten up for third. We'll look for the final results here in just a second.
This boy 300-meter hurdle event is something that I personally am looking forward to, because we, again, have another 3 young men that are ranked in the top 100 in the nation in this event. Caleb Curry from Rummel is ranked 89th. Markel Miles from Edna Carr is ranked 22nd. And Justin Horn from John Curtis is ranked 14th. And that's not even mentioning the defending champion in this event, Tori Lambert from Brother Martin.
If I called the wrong winner, I apologize. This is saying Sophie Stein from Mount Carmel is the winner on the results. I thought it was Green in lane 5, and this is saying it's Stein in lane 4. So check on that. Maybe there's an error on what got put in initially, or maybe there's an error on what I saw. This says it is Stein, Mansion, Griffin, and Green in the top 4. Now I see some, well.
The team scoring is a couple of events behind. Very anxious to see.
Well, they generally, you see that get caught up in the middle of the 3,200 meters. You get a little time in there, and we know where we stand.
We're going to have a couple seconds to get those caught up.
Yeah, now we're seeing. Looks like Green is indeed the winner. So here we go with the boys. With 9 running, and you look at Justin Horn in lane 5, Tori Lambert in lane 7. They are the winners of this the last 2 years. But from the inside, it's Thomas McGriff of Holy Cross, Dragos Satanovich of Jesuit, Brant Blanchard of Jesuit, Caleb Curry of Rummel, Justin Horn of Curtis, Markel Miles of Carr, Tori Lambert of Brother Martin, Dylan Druett of Brother Martin, and Nick Franklin of Carr all the way on the outside. And you talked about you've got 3 runners sub 39 seconds in this race that are among the best, not only in this district, but in the nation.
3 ranked in the top 90 in this great country of ours.
Horn won this event last year. Lambert won it 2 years ago. It's Horn in 5. It's Lambert in 7. Of course, you've got the addition of Carr, and you got a very talented hurdler, Markel Miles, sitting at 6. And don't forget about Caleb Curry, sitting in 4.
A couple weeks ago at the Ronnie Doyle Classic, those 3 young men put on a very impressive performance. Looking forward to the same in this race coming up. These young men are getting in the blocks. The gun is up.
All right, here we go. The boys, 300 meters.
And we're off.
Oh, we got a Thomas McGriff of Holy Cross was not ready to go, and he missed the start. Watch who goes over the hurdles, and it looks like Horn's got the lead.
Horn, Markel's right there. Caleb Curry's closing ground. Lambert is within striking distance as well.
Yeah, you got 4 of them right there. It is in lane 5, Justin Horn from John Curtis trying to repeat, but he's got Markel Miles right on his hip.
Unbelievable.
1 more hurdle to go. Horn's drawing away and will win this. 37 and change, could be a 38.6. That's going to be a record time here. 37.23 for Justin Horn. That is a season best and a meet record.
Those 4 individual performances were elite. Next week, one of them is going to be sitting home.
Miles is second. Lambert is third. We'll run down the rest momentarily, but what a performance by Justin Horn. You mentioned Texas Tech has got a good one coming in both football and track.
Justin came in with a 37.44 seed time. Let's see if he broke that.
Unofficially, they're saying 37.24.
Wow.
For Horn.
Wow. That is moving. And Markel was right there on him. It looked like on hurdle number 7, he clipped it when that just gave Justin the exact what he needed to pull away completely from that race.
That was a 12-year-old record that just fell 38.60.
Wow.
By Jarvis Harris, and actually Horn and Miles both topped the record. And Caleb Curry finished third at 38.81. That's
wow. And he was right off the district.
That's just off his best. That's just off the district mark as well.
Like I said, that event is elite, and they proved it once again.
All right, coming up next, it will be the girls' 200-meter dash. We're down to 3 events remaining. Fastest time in this event for the girls, London Parker of John Curtis, 25.93. Just to her outside will be Olivia Bordes of Dominican, who was second in this event a year ago, was third in 2021.
And like I said earlier, with the strategy of these coaches with the new setup during the state meet and making sure that these athletes get the required rest and recovery, London is normally a 400-meter runner, but she is a better 800 runner. So they decided to run her in the 800, skip the 4, and put her in this open 200-meter dash.
So 3 events remaining. We're 3 events behind on the boys' side in terms of scoring, 2 on the girls' side. So that will certainly catch up quickly here. As again, coming up next in about 7 minutes from now, it is the girls' 200-meter dash to be followed by the boys' 200-meter dash, where they will run 2 sections.
I know that they have this time schedule for the athletes to get the proper recovery time, but seeing all these performances and the emotions that I'm feeling, I need the recovery time myself.
Yeah, exactly. You're ready. You're ready for the next event to run. I understand. So we have now seen on the boys' side, let's consider this. The last 3 running events we've seen for the boys, we've seen district records.
Wow.
The 4x1 Holy Cross set a record.
Wow.
The 400 meters, Cameron Hardy from Cars set a record. And then just now in the 300-meter hurdles, Justin Horn from John Curtis sets a record.
And especially in the 400 and the 300 hurdles just now, those 2 young men pulled away at the very last 50 meters of the race.
All right, I think we've got some updated scores. So those things
go.
are all scored. Let's run it down now. All right, here we go on the girls' side. Mount Carmel 116, Edna Carr 80, Dominican 61, John Curtis 52, Archbishop Chappelle 21. So the lead for Mount Carmel 36 with 3 events to go. Can Carr close the gap? They got a chance to do the most they can get now, remember, is 42 points because it's an 8-6-4-2-1 scoring system.
Correct.
They don't have a lot of margin there, and you would think Mount Carmel's got a big advantage in the 3,200. So Mount Carmel would likely have a chance to clinch the meet right there if this plays out. Now, on the boys' side, look at what has happened here. Jesuit 114, John Curtis 110. Brother Martin in third with 81. Edna Carr in fourth, 79. Then it's Rummel 44, Holy Cross 42, and St. Aug 25. We got a good one going on the boys' side here with 3 races to go. Jesuit with a 4-point lead over John Curtis. And let's look at the 200-meter dash coming up. Curtis has no one in the 200 meters.
Yeah, looking ahead
and
on the
and Jesuits, that's probably a throw out there. But Jesuits got a chance to perhaps clinch this thing in the 3,200.
Correct.
You would, in a perfect world, you and I have seen enough track meets. You want this to come down to the 4x400 meter relay. But the way this is laying out right now is that Mount Carmel and Jesuit may have a chance to wrap this up in the 3,200 before we get to the 4x4.
Oh, absolutely. Mount Carmel definitely has the meet wrapped up. Congratulations to Mount Carmel on being the district champions.
Yeah, can they? Yeah, I'm about to say this. It may be over because it's true because Carr has no one in a 3,200, so the most Carr can score the rest of the way is 28 points.
Correct.
Even if they finish 1-2, well, no, they can't even do that because it's a 4x4. So the most they can score is 22 points, and that's if Mount Carmel scores nothing, that's still
14
not enough.
points.
Right, that's still not enough.
Yeah, and just like that on the boys' side, Jesuit and Curtis will probably not score any points in this 200 meters.
Jesuit's got a
But
big
Jesuit,
edge. Yeah, Curtis does have runners in the 3,200, but Jesuit's got the top two seeds in Robert Buisson and Patrick Dowd,
who
got a chance.
have not ran a race yet today.
There you go. So they're well rested.
They might have been in the 4x8, but those kids are, like you said, two of them were in the top 5 in the state in cross country. I like their chances of going 1-2 in here. But Brother Martin does have some elite runners of their own right. If any of those guys take a second off, those guys should be ready to pounce on them.
That's that. Now, could
Brother
Brother Martin potentially sneak into the picture here? 33 points down. I don't think so. They've got maybe a chance to get something on the board in the 200, and certainly score points in the 3,200, and that then it could get interesting maybe for second, depending on how all of that plays out. But it would seem like this, Jesuit can wrap up the meet with a solid performance in the 3,200 meters, which will be our next event, not this coming event, but then after that.
Just recapping the meet itself, Coach Rudy said it best. His strategy was to attack the field events by committee, and it appears that is the difference and what the separation, because we knew what they would do on the track with their distance running and their guys with the 800, which they underperformed a little bit, the mile, the 2 mile, the 4x8.
Well, let's look at this. You want to break it down, okay? They've got 4 points in the hurdles. They've got 29 in the distance, 24 in the throws, 44 points in the jumps, and 13 in the relays.
That is impressive.
44 in the jumps. So that's probably, we're gonna talk about the distance, and especially if they get 18 points there, that would be 47 in the distance events. But they've got 44 points in the jumps.
And going into this meet, I had Jesuit scoring 54 points total in the field events. So that
and they got at 44 in the jumps. Let's see what else they had there. They've got 68 points in the field events. 24 in the throws, 44 in the jumps.
Plus 14. I have them winning by 6. If they win by 20, that's the difference right there.
All right, getting set, it looks like, for the girls' 200-meter dash. We got a field of 9. Again, we mentioned Olivia Bordas, second in this event a year ago, third in 2021, but she's in lane 6. The top time belongs to London Parker of John Curtis in lane 5.
And it took all 100 meters to decide the outcome of that heads-up match earlier in the day.
No doubt.
Let's see if they can duplicate that. I know they've run multiple events throughout the day. Let's see who has the best legs left.
Abrielle Payne of Carr is in lane 4. Maya Richardson of Carr is in lane 7 with a chance to certainly be in that mix. And if not jump into the top 2, be in position to advance to regionals. The rest of your field, it's Ava Smith of Chappelle in lane 1. Deani Hatfield of Chappelle in 2. Caitlin Bird of Dominican in 3. You jump out to the outside, Mia Jackson of Mount Carmel in 8. Reese Brechtel of Mount Carmel in 9, and off we go.
Another clean start.
And it's shaping up like Parker and Bordas in the middle of the track. And right there on the inside is Payne, who's not going away.
London with her 800, 400 strength is starting to pull away this 200 meters.
London Parker. And Bordas will hold off Payne for second.
I'll tell you what, Lenny. There was a lot of questions and some doubters that Carr wouldn't be able to compete in this district moving up. They are proving everybody wrong. They are in almost a qualifying position in every event on the track.
Parker's final time unofficially 25:45, a good 0.7 of a second ahead of Bordas, who ran right at her qualifying time of 26:15. Payne 26-32 for third, and Caitlin Bird of Dominican appears to be fourth. So that is good race for Dominican here as they get 8 points out of this one as well with a second and a fourth.
There's going to be a tight competition for second place between them two, because I know Dominican's got some runners, some ammunition in that 3,200, and they're not too far behind with Carr with that event.
19. They were 19 points behind going in.
And they just scored.
Payne finished third. Yeah, Payne finished third to get, 4 points, and Dominican's going to get 8. I didn't see who came across fifth, but still, it definitely closes that gap a little bit. Like you mentioned, Dominican's got a chance to, pick up some ground in the 3,200 coming up, even with Mount Carmel having perhaps the two best runners in that. So we'll see how that all plays out. So we get set. There will be 2 heats or 2 sections against time of the boys' 200 meters. We start out with Caden Goodman of Brother Martin, Jacob Washington, and Cole White of Jesuit running in this first heat. Off we go. They'll hit the straightaway, and it looks like advantage Cole White on the outside. But here comes Jacob Washington down the middle of the track, and Washington, who came in with the best time at 23:89 in this section, runs right back to that. Will be enough, much fast. 23:44 for Washington. Could that possibly sneak in and get a point?
With what we've seen in the 100 and having these guys running in the 200 meters, I don't think so.
No, but still a good performance that was nearly half a second better than his seed time.
That is, like I said earlier, these kids come out to play and compete at the highest level in this competition.
All right, we get set for the second section, our fast section here. You got a couple of runners in lanes 5 and 6. Raji Dennis of Edna Carr, Kingston Jones of St. Augustine, who came in with identical times of 21:41. And then to their inside in lane 4 will be Cross Johnson of Holy Cross, who's the defending champion in this event. 21:46, his best time of the season. Josh Brown of his Holy Cross teammate is in lane 7. 21:73 is his best time. We've got 5 runners in this section who have run sub 22 seconds this year.
Like I mentioned before, the 100 meters, Cameron ran the 400. He won that. Let's see if Raji and Dennis from Carr can improve one spot and get the 200. But like you just said, there are some phenomenal athletes running in this event. Cross Johnson, Josh Brown. Let's see what these young men can do.
All right, getting set. Again, it's run it down. Cam Steele of Brother Martin. Nazir Caesar of Rummel. Bryson Osborne of Carr. Cross Johnson of Holy Cross in 4. Raji Dennis of Carr in 5. Kingston Jones, St. Aug in 6. Josh Brown, Holy Cross in 7.
Start.
I think we did have a false start there.
It looked like lane 2.
Cameron Doris of St. Aug in 8. Stephen Mixon of Rummel on the outside in lane 9. So explain the false start rules in high school.
In high school, in the state of Louisiana, it is one and done. One false start,
and you're out. So if that was lane 2, that was Nazir Caesar of Rummel, if that was indeed lane 2, and that looks like that was indeed the case. First one we've seen tonight.
Yes. In lane 1 in the 300 hurdles, the young man from Holy Cross didn't look like he was fully set.
He didn't break. He was good, a good 3 seconds behind.
So other than that, we've had very clean starts.
All right, so we'll have to reset here after.
Yeah, that's that young man is a freshman. Hopefully he learns from that mistake and improves. Don't ever try to time the gun, fellas. Nothing good happens from that.
It's interesting to me that the international standard on this, you've got a tenth of a second. You cannot start within a tenth of a second of the gun.
And going off of that international rules, all right, everybody's up. Looks like something happened there. But the international rules, the field gets one false start, and then
everybody
the next one
is,
is DQ'd. So if we were at the next level, Sazier would have been able to get back in the blocks and to compete in the event. But we are in high school, and unfortunately for that young man,
one and done.
One and done.
Tough break.
And he does
for
not,
Nazir Caesar.
He does not look very happy walking off this track.
He came in with a time of 22:34. You got to think he maybe had a
freshman.
chance to get in the top 4 and have a chance to advance.
Yeah, that's a costly DQ for the young man.
So we will get things reset and get ready for this final section of the boys' 200 meters. After this, it will be the 3,200 for boys and girls. Girls first. And then we will have the 4x400 meter relay to wrap things up. All right, back in the blocks, or at least stretching things out, getting ready to get back in the blocks. We're down to a field of 8 in this second section.
And these young men are taking their time getting back in these blocks.
Well, you get ready to go when that happens, and I think it kind of, you got to give them a chance. Here we go. Clean start. And a quick close in lane 7. That was Josh Brown of Holy Cross cutting off the stagger. And he's right there. And it's 4 across the track.
Cross Johnson, Raji Dennis. Raji Dennis.
And Dennis will get out in front and win this one. Let's wait for the time. The record, the meet record was 21:25. We're going to come in, 21:08 unofficially, and that would be a meet record. And where is that going to rank for the season? Cross Johnson ran 21:16. Nothing to be ashamed of there. But Raji Dennis, 21:09. Make it 21:09. Which will be another meet record here. And once again on the boys' side, we see another record fall.
And like you said, not only did they have to go down in the blocks once, they had to get back up a second time. It took them 3 times to get that ready to roll. Impressive. This is going to be definitely a great race once you add in Jermaine Smith-Mata from Warren Easton. He is an elite sprinter. Add him to the mix with this 100, 200. There's going to be some even faster times next week at Thibodeau High School.
I think Easton competes in 4A, so it's they're going to be.
They pulled a car. They moved up as well.
I didn't. I thought they were still. I thought they were still competing in 4A, but I know they were in Division 1. And I have to check that out. But
let's check that out right now.
But the only thing running faster than what we're seeing out here on the track is some of these ants that we're seeing up here. They're moving.
I was seeing the same thing. I got a little race going on right in front of my computer right now.
All right, so down to 2 events now. 3,200 coming up next, the girls first. And it's going to be a field of 6, 2 from Mount Carmel, 2 Dominican, 2 Chappelle. The Mount Carmel runners, Catalina Reichard and Emma Meneses, are the top 2 seeded times.
You are correct, Lenny. Man, I'm going to have to pay to see that.
Well, you may see it at some other point. Yeah,
but we will see that showdown at AAU this summer.
Yeah.
But
it just goes to show you the talent we've got in the New Orleans area, no doubt about it.
And just to throw this out there, Jermaine's ran a 10:41 in the 100 and a 21:1 in the 200.
Wow.
So yeah, hopefully those 3 young men can compete. And that's one of the things that we've always talked about as coaches, that we could have a event after the state meet across all the classifications, because there's a lot of elite performances in the lower divisions that those young men and women do deserve a chance to compete against some of the bigger schools. I know we would definitely like to see that happen. So if there's anybody out there, let's get that together.
Now, Dennis and Johnson, both juniors.
And Jermaine's also a junior.
In fact, everybody on the inside there, and 4, 5, 6, 7. You got 2 juniors and 2 sophomores in there. You mentioned Caesar's just a freshman. It's seniors pretty much on the outside. So those results not official yet. We'll wait on those to go in. But again, unofficially, 21:09 for Raji Dennis to win the 200, breaking a 30-year-old district championship record set by Joseph Sincere.
30 years. I think that's what, 7 of meet records broken so far?
I'm going to have to go back and double check my math here, but I know we've had
We'll have to start using our fingers and toes here in a second to count how many records have been broken.
Joseph Sincere of St. Augustine, 21:25 back in 1993.
Wow. I know last season, Raji, with the wind-aided 200 meters, he ran 20:89, but that wind does help out a little bit.
When, early on the wind was blowing a little bit. The flag is hardly moving out there above the scoreboard to our left.
No wind on the track right now. So that 21:09 is...
It's going to be legal. There's no doubt about it. All right, so we get ready for the girls' 3,200 meters. 8 laps around. They start right in front of us. And again, the 2 we will watch are the 2 on the inside from Mount Carmel. Reichert and Meneses. Mount Carmel at this point, as we mentioned, do the math, it's over. They have a 3rd consecutive district championship put away at this point. But they've got a chance to really extend the lead with the performance here in the 3,200.
And it's very important to mention, they're not racing for anything. They're still trying to qualify for the next round, to qualify for the regionals and make it to the state meet. So this is just as important.
And that district championship, again, we come back to that, the district championship matters as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, the sprinting, the distance running, the jumping has been very impressive throughout this fine afternoon here in New Orleans.
Darkness now has taken full effect as we head into an early evening with 2 races left to run on both the boys and girls side.
Yeah, Catalina Ricard coming in with a PR of 10 minutes and 58 seconds in the 3,200 meters. That is moving around this 8-lap race.
She's going to go right out and set the pace here.
Yeah, there's a fall. That was a girl from Dominican. That could, yep. Whenever there is a fall in a distance race within the first 100 meters,
we're going to get a restart.
They need to bring the young ladies back. Wow, we've had a clean meet so far.
All of a sudden,
the 300 hurdles, the 200-meter fall start, and the trip and fall in the 3,200 meters. Hopefully we can break this trend very soon.
And I'm not sure if that was Mary Kate Garvey or Isabel Bailey.
And it looks like she hit the ground pretty hard on her hip. Her coach is checking her out right now, see if she's all right. Hopefully she is.
Yeah, it looks like she's staying in.
She is in qualifying position for next week.
Certainly. And when you've got a field of 6 and 4 move on.
All right, ladies, let's have a clean start. time and crew resetting this stuff, getting ready to go to
See Zero's
redo this.
back on the clock. They've got to get ready to rerun this event, and off we go.
All right, let's keep it clean through 100 meters, ladies.
And once again, Reichert goes out to the lead. And right behind her, Manassas. The field of 6 will make their way down the backstretch for the first time.
Again, Reichardt's just a sophomore. 10 minutes, 58 seconds in the 3,200 meters. State champion indoor. She ran 11:21 on that day at the Carl Maddox Indoor Field House in Baton Rouge. She has a great resume already for her young career at Mount Carmel. Breaking 11 minutes in a girls' 3,200 meters is very, very impressive.
11 minutes would be, what would that project out to? About an 85-second lap or so, somewhere in there. Reichert will bring this in pretty close to that. She will cross the line for the first time in 1:24 and change. So
she is setting the tone early. She said, "I'm the leader of this race. Come and get me." Yeah, just recapping the meet, we're going to have a lot of time to do that in these 3,200s.
Yeah, let's break down Mount Carmel a little bit. Why don't we? You know, we talked about Jesuit and what they were able to do in both the distances and in the field. All right, Mount Carmel, 7 points in sprints, 12 in hurdles, 24 in distance, and a chance to pick up 14 here perhaps.
And remember, this is on a 5-point scale, five-team scale.
Yeah, so it's 8, 6, 4, 2, 1. So the most you can get in an event is 14, not 18. All right, 24 we mentioned in distance, 13 in the throws, 38 in the jumps, and 22 in the relays. So they've gotten 38 points.
That's 4 events.
In four events, the high jump, the long jump, the triple jump, the pole vault. And the most you can get there is 56, and they got 38. So if you're going to point to something, that would certainly be a place to start. Obviously, the distances as well are going to,
they're going to add. They're going to add to that 24-point total right here.
Right. They got a chance if they run 1-2 here. That would be 14 more points. That would be 38 out of a possible 42 in the distance. Is that right?
That's correct.
8, 16, and 32. The relays, the 4x8 relay goes into the relays, and they've gotten in the 3 relays thus far. They've gotten 22 points.
They are having a
well-rounded meet. Look, they don't.
They have not thrown up a goose egg yet in any event or any event category. And 38 points in 3 events on a 5-team scale. That's almost perfection.
So you see the lead stretching out at this point.
Coming through 1,000 meters, right under 3:37. She's looking like she's just out for a nice weekend cruise.
And even when you look at the times coming in, she ran over a minute faster than everybody else in this field.
Yep.
When that is the situation, you're basically running against the clock. You're not running against the field.
Absolutely. Right? She has definitely put in a solid day's work already. I'm sure she was on the 4x8, running 5:09, breaking the meet record in the 1,600. She is making sure that she gets that 8 points, the victory, and punches her ticket next week for Thibodeau. Coming through the 1,200 right at 4:21. Again, I want to give a shout out to all of the coaches from all over the state texting me, keeping me on my toes. I appreciate you guys. I also want to wish y'all good luck on y'all's district meets, your regional meets, your state meets. The better the coaching is in this state, the better competition is. So let's keep it going, fellas and ladies.
District meets this week, regional meets next week. And then, of course, the state championship, 2 weeks from now, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at LSU. We talk about, losing the 2020 season to COVID. One of the, that outdoor meet in 2021 back in Baton Rouge, which was a very well-attended meet.
Yes.
And it was a tremendous atmosphere. And you talked to Eddie Bonine afterwards, the executive director of the LHSA. That was the point that he realized that high school sports, as we've come to know it, were back.
Yes.
With that outdoor meet 2 years ago.
No, it was a great performance. As always, the state has a very, very good level of competition in track and field, and it was very fun to see that which of the programs and athletes took advantage of that time off. And there was a lot of them that they could definitely, through their performances, show that they didn't take training off, even though there was no competition.
So Reichert crossed in 1600, I believe, in 5:49 is what I saw there. And she is a good 100 meters ahead of the field at this point. Let's see. Maybe 90, 95 meters. But she is way out there at this point.
And she is just cruising. And I've said it many times already, she's only a sophomore.
And look, her best time, or you mentioned she's run under 11 minutes. Her seed time was 11:20, and the meet record is 11:32:30.
Okay, and she is looking like she's about to come up and lap the young lady from Chappelle, coming through right at 2,000 meters.
Which will be
and she
somewhere. You see the clock at the bottom of your screen there. About 7:13 and change. So that is, my math here, about right at about an 83-second pace.
Yes, sir. And she's about to lap Chappelle right here. In second place, her teammate is coming through. The Dominican in third. Chappelle fourth, the last qualifying spot.
That's exactly how this shook out, at least based on seeds.
Let's see if that fall from Mary Kate will cost her. She did look like she was coming up a little bit wobbly after landing hard on her left hip. Hopefully she can rebound and put a surge in here for that fourth spot over Molly from Chappelle.
They're coming down the stretch for the sixth time now. Reichert will be in the neighborhood of 8:40, which I guess would put her on pace for around 11:30. So she's going to be, this is going to be very much in play here, depending on how she finishes. 8:40 and change. So you do the math there. That's about 11:30 is right in play there. Because that would have been
not slowing down. She looks like she's surging and picking up steam, trying to lap all these girls. Her own little game. See what she can do. She just lapped her second competitor in the competition. Lenny, she's not slowing down. She's picking up speed.
Yeah. You'd think at this point, you want to compare it to something. If you've seen, Katie Ledecky swim these distance races, and
she's the go to the pool.
She just draws further and further away, and that's a lot of similar type actions of what we're seeing here from Catalina Reichert, the sophomore from Mount Carmel.
She's closing in on her third competitor of she's going to lap.
Now here we go. We'll get to the 10-minute mark, and the question will now be.
And here comes Mr. Mayer with the bell lap. 10:04.
10:04, 10:05.
And she
so
just had to put a surge in.
There you go. So can she run this in 86 seconds?
And she's been clipping those at about 82, 83, and she just picked it up even more.
This is a 20-year-old record, 11:32:30.
This is an incredible performance by that young lady. She's got about 250 meters to go, about a minute to do it. Her teammates, as you can hear, are encouraging her. She's closing in on her fourth competitor.
Yeah. Carrie Ann Langley for Mount Carmel 20 years ago holds the district championship record of 11:32.30. This is going to be very close. And look at her now. She is just flying. She's got 30 seconds to play with as she hits the straightaway.
Swing those arms, girl. Finish.
She's got this in hand at this point. Look at the kick down the lane for Catalina Reichert of Mount Carmel, who's going to take out a second meet record. 11:20 and change. We'll wait for the official time.
Shattered. Well, the coaches knew what they were doing, putting in that 11:20 seat time.
11:20:37, right at it, yeah. Well,
that is an incredible double. 5:09, 11:20. Fantastic. I know there's been a lot of elite performances on the track on the girls' side, but
that's right. That's right up there. If you were voting for an outstanding performer, she could be it.
She got mine. Very impressive. And here comes Mount Carmel for second place, adding to their massive lead that they've already established throughout the competition.
Manassas will cross in 12:20 and change. Her seed time was 12:30 coming in. And just to give you an idea, Reichert won this race by 1 minute and 7/10 of a second.
That was the only competitor of the race that she did not lap, was her teammate in second place. And speaking of outstanding track athletes, on the boys' side, you can literally pick one guy from any school.
No doubt. We have seen a lot of great performances. Obviously, look at the people who've set records: Justin Horn, Cameron Hardy. You've got Carr's relay team in there. We go. Holy Cross's relay team with a record performance.
It's been
Raji Dennis from Carr. That's And the interesting part, we start rattling off all of those records. We haven't named one person from Jesuit in there.
Exactly.
And, they're in position to perhaps take this down here. If they can do what they need to do in the 3,200, they've got a chance to put this meet away coming up. We got one more runner on the track, it looks like, trying to come home, and then we'll get ready for.
I think with the field, you could go with Tyler Hayes with John Curtis winning the long jump and triple jump. Those are 20 crucial points for the Patriots. But on the track, pick a name out of the hat.
All right, so Mary Kate Garvey from Dominican will come in fifth rather. That will wrap up the girls 3,200. They'll reset things and get ready for the boys. And on the boys' side, we have a field of 13. Carr has one runner. Everyone else has two. Again, the top two seeds from Jesuit, Robert Buisson, Patrick Dowd. They both run sub 9:30 this year. Luke Reagan, Daniel Falk from Brother Martin are 3 and 4.
Daniel Falk is a very good distance runner in his own right. He was the runner-up in the 3,200 meters indoor this past indoor season. Talking to Coach Dupe last night, he wanted to make sure that I pointed out that he is definitely the glue of their program. He's a fine young man. Let's see what he can do in this event. It's crazy that he is a runner-up in a state competition.
And he's the 4 seed in this event. And
unbelievable.
Yeah. So quickly cutting off the stagger
and
getting out to the lead there. That was, I believe, one of the was that the car runner going out? Yeah, that was Eliakim Barnes or Baines. I'm sorry. And you know, we used to see in some of the professional events, you might see a rabbit. Right now, he's almost acting like the rabbit. He's out 20 meters in front.
Like you said before, throughout the competition, there's a lot of different strategy involved. I don't think this young man's using the best one.
But he may help the pace for others. Let's see how it all plays out. Now he's going to back it down a little bit. And as you talked about, the Jesuit runners tend to lay off the pace.
Yes.
They want to be stalkers if we're using horse racing parlance here.
Absolutely.
All right, so it's Reagan and Falk out in front with Buisson and Dowd in the pack right behind.
And they look smooth. They've already closed that gap, coming through at 1:13.
73 seconds on the opening lap.
The young man from Carr has already been caught and about to get overtaken by the top 4 pack.
I guess it's one of those things, too. You're all the way on the outside. And now granted, in a 3,200-meter race, you got a lot of time to make up distance, so to speak. But you just said, you know what? I'm going to go out quickly and see what happens. Nobody went with him, though. Everybody just ran their race. That's the thing you got, whatever is happening, you talk about a lot of times. You're running, especially in these distance races, you're running against the clock. You know the pace you want to run. And, later on you can get into strategy. It's not going to happen right now. But now you look, and there it is. There are your, that pack of 4 that you see. 2 from Brother Martin, 2 from Jesuit.
They are all
the Brother Martin runners side by side. The Jesuit runners side by side, about a meter back. Yeah.
They are looking like they are running in one smooth unison right now.
That 4 will pass the finish line for the second time at about 2:35. So a little bit slower there on the second lap. They've backed things down a little bit. That first lap was about 73 seconds. The second lap was about 82 seconds.
And the 2 Holy Cross runners are in 5th and 6th to get those 3 points.
Everybody's running in tandem right now, it seems like.
Yep, the leaders did not change with the team score after the 200 meters coming into this race. Jesuit with 1:14, John Curtis 1:10.
Right. Well, Curtis had no one in the 200.
But Edna Carr
made a jump up to 3rd with 91 points now. Brother Martin at 4th with 81. Now, even if Brother Martin finishes 3rd and 4th right here, they can make it right back up. They can get 10 points here and pull us into a tie for 3rd.
Yes, sir.
Holy Cross 56, Rummel 45, and St. Augustine 7th, 29. On the girls' side, it's Mount Carmel 116, and Dakar 84, Dominican 69, John Curtis 60, Archbishop Chappelle 22. And I don't believe they have scored the girls 3,200 yet, as we pass the finish line for the 3rd time, 1,200 meters in, at about 3:55. So a little bit faster lap that time, about 80 seconds.
They're starting to pick it up.
They have scored the girls 3,200 in there. Let's see if that is now updated. So we have 116.84. Okay. So you see that pack of 4. That is basically your race at this point. The two Brother Martin runners, Luke Reagan and Daniel Falk. In front, Robert Buisson, Patrick Dowd from Jesuit just behind. As they will hit the 1,600-meter mark in a moment. And see the clock at the bottom of your screen there. It'll be about 5:12 and change for the leaders. A little bit faster again, about 77 seconds on that last lap.
They're picking it up. That's a 10:24 pace. They're definitely going to negative split. These young men know that they're the standard of this event.
Yeah, you look at they all had come in sub 9:45, and then the next time is 10:53.
So they know where they are. They know who they are. They've got tons of experience. Top 4 advance.
Mm-hmm.
Survive in advance. Get to the next round.
It's part of the strategy of this. Yes, you want to win a district championship. Yes, you want to win a team championship. You want to win individual championships, but you also know that the top 4 move on to next week. So you don't want to go running something crazy here and lose that chance to finish in the top 4.
These young men are also, like we've said before, these two guys from Jesuit were in the top 5 in the state in cross country. They know what they're doing. We all know what they're capable of. They're just surviving and advancing.
Well, and still time, again, they like to work from a stalking position. So there's still 1,200 meters to go if you're going to try to go around somebody. They get to the 2,000-meter mark at about 6:29. A little bit faster there, I think, but maybe 76 seconds on that last lap.
They're starting to pick it up a little bit. That's one of the things that's very impressive to me, Lenny, is that these guys are still running a pretty decent clip. And they're out there for a little Sunday jog. Is there any local sponsors you want to shout out to?
Well, thanks to all of our sponsors who help make all of this possible. And again, we're not done streaming this year at Crescent City Sports. We'll have some, softball season winding down. Of course, track season winding down. We're going to have some playoff baseball coming up. Stay with us. We'll have news about that.
Beautiful. I know you're about to add another sponsor for your Crescent City Sports. That's Jefferson Indoor Sports. That is, I'm a little bit biased, but that's one of my businesses. I got 2 amazing co-owners, and we have tons of stuff that we offer. So if you have a second, please check out our website, jeffersonindorsports.com, just to see everything that we offer.
And now we get the Jesuit runners moving to the lead and trying to stretch things out here a little bit. Not only going to the front, but they are going with authority.
And the two Brother Martin runners looked at each other and said,
what just happened?
You guys take it. We're not doing that. But it looks like Falk's starting to make a move himself. Lenny, those 2 young men just shot out the cannon.
Yeah.
Coming through with 800 to go.
Coming up on 600 meters to go. And it is now the pack of Buisson and Dowd. Well, a good 25 meters in front. But this is what they can do. Obviously, Jesuit showed you in the fall why they are the best distance program in the state, certainly for now. When you turn in a perfect score at a state championship, you run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
15 points.
Yeah. This lap, I believe, was about 57 seconds just now.
I got a clock on this last lap. Let's see what they can do. If they run under 2 minutes the last 800, that would be very impressive.
So there are your leaders. Who's going to win a district championship? Will it be Robert Buisson or will it be Patrick Dowd?
Coming through at the 234 seconds.
They're kicking it home now.
They are going to close with a sub 2 minute.
And let me tell you what this does, too. This will wrap up a team championship for Jesuit. I believe that is Dowd. We'll get it home.
He split out at 1:59 high, 2 minutes, the last 800 meters of a 3,200 meter race.
That's crazy. That is crazy good. And Jesuit goes 1-2 in the 3,200. Brother Martin is going to go 3-4.
Wow. I don't think I've ever seen that, Lenny.
That was it was Dowd, your winner, 9:55.42. Buisson 9:56.09. Reagan comes in at 10:09.42. Falk at 10:20.22. 18 points for the Blue Jays, 10 points for the Crusaders. All four move on to the regional meet.
Here comes the fifth finisher from Holy Cross, scoring 2 points for their team total.
I believe that's Noah Marina. Marina and Audler both had
Holy Cross is a very proud distance program as well. Yeah. They finished runner-up in the Division 4, or whichever one it was.
Division 2, yeah.
The 4A class.
Yeah, it's Marina in 11:04. Yeah. Or 11:03.46. A little bit ahead of his seed time. Now his teammate Wyatt Audler will come in for sixth, and that will close out the scoring spots here. We've still got a couple of runners out on the track finishing up. So one event to go, and again, that we talked about it. That is what Jesuit needed to basically put things away. They came in with a 114-110 lead. They're going to get 18 points there. They're now going to have a 22-point lead going into the relay. All you need is a lead of 10. And now Brother Martin with the 10 points will tie Edna Carr for third place. Now that's going to be a tough row to hoe there for third, because Carr has got the best time coming into the boys 4x4. Brother Martin is got the sixth best time, so we'll see how that all plays out. First up, it'll be the girls, and we mentioned Mount Carmel has the girls' championship wrapped up. They also have the top seed time in this event, 4:11.88. Mount Carmel has the district record going back to 2011, 4:09.64. Can somebody take that down here? We've seen so many records fall on this Thursday evening.
I think this is going to be a more competitive race than on paper, Lenny. Got John Curtis. Looks like London is running in this relay with Johanna and Madison. They both, finished second and third, or third and fourth in the Open 400?
Yeah, it's listed as, we just had four listed here. Leah Odo, along with London Parker, Johanna McGinnis, Madison Rito on Curtis's team. Mount Carmel again with the best time coming in 4:11.88. Edna Carr second at 4:14.53. John Curtis third, 4:16.91. But Curtis has won this race the last 2 years. It'll be Chappelle in lane 3, Curtis in 4, Mount Carmel in 5, Carr in 6, and Dominican in 7 for this final race of the girls' championship. You can stay with us. We will have the trophy presentations coming up, the team awards. We know who's going to win them. They just have to take home trophies. It's going to be Mount Carmel winning the girls' title. It's going to be Jesuit winning the boys' title. Now the scores updated. Mount Carmel with 130 points. Carr 84. Dominican 72. Curtis 60. Chappelle 26. We've got a 10-point gap in every spot, so we know what the standings are going to be. It's going to finish just that way no matter what happens here. And off we go in the 4x4. It is Chappelle in 3, Curtis 4, Mount Carmel 5, Carr in 6, Carr is cutting off the stagger quickly on Dominican, who's in lane 7.
You got Leah Odo, who she was as an 8th grader. She was part of the John Curtis State Champion 4x8 relay team. So she's got some experience in a little move in her step as well.
Mount Carmel and Carr going out quickly here. Curtis, with their depth in this lineup, can certainly close some ground. It's going to be Mount Carmel, it looks like, to make the first handoff at the first exchange. Followed by Carr, then Dominican, and then Curtis and Chappelle. Mount Carmel with a huge lead at the moment. But again, you've got some teams with some outstanding 400-meter runners that have a chance to make up some ground.
In the 4x4, they run a 3-turn stagger, Lenny. That's the first lane, the first leg stays in your lane the whole race. They hand off to the second runner. That runner has the ability to stay in their lane for the first 100 meters and break in at the break point, which was clean. And now everybody gets to run in lane 1.
You see the close now as Carr is trying to overtake, but some fight from the Cubs here. As we get set for the second exchange, Mount Carmel will hand it off first, followed by Carr.
Great handoff.
Then Curtis.
Don't let that baton slow down. It looks like the Carr young lady is out for a nice push.
Followed by Dominican and Chappelle. There you see the top two. Heading down the backstretch, nearing the 1,000-meter mark. Halfway through this third leg of the 4x4. And Mount Carmel looking to draw back away here.
Mount Carmel is putting an impressive stamp to this performance all day long. I think they heard me up here when I said I don't think this race is going to be as close as I thought.
Came in with the best time. They're trying to make it stand up, and they will make the first handoff as we head to the final leg of this 4x4.
They're going to run a lot faster than 4:11, Lenny.
Mount Carmel and Carr way out there with Curtis back in third.
The Carr runner is looking strong.
.200 meters to go. Can the Cubs hold on? Looking like they will, to put an exclamation point on a third straight Catholic League title. Don't know if there's enough kick to set a new record. It's going to be close. I think they got it.
4:08.
The record 4:09.64. Unofficially 4:07.99.
I stand corrected. 4:07.99.
That is what you call an exclamation point right there.
100%.
Breaking their own record from 12 years ago.
That should, if my math is correct, that should put them at 138 points for the day. Impressive.
Carr will finish second. Carr will finish with 90. So we get set now for the final event.
All right, we got a competition for third place here, Lenny.
Yep. Yeah, one and two are pretty much in hand, I believe. Jesuit has the title wrapped up.
Curtis has runner-up wrapped up.
Curtis is going to finish second. Brother Martin and Carr tied for third with 91 points. Holy Cross in fifth with 59. Rummel in sixth with 45. St. Augustine in seventh with 29. So the battle now is for third place. Let's run down the field for you. Rummel's in lane 1. It'll be Rummel's in lane 2. Lane 1 is open. Jesuit in 3. John Curtis is the defending champion in this event. They are in lane 4. Edna Carr in 5. Holy Cross in 6. St. Augustine won it 2 years ago. They are in lane 7. And Brother Martin in lane 8. Not a lot of difference in times here. I mean, you got Carr and Holy Cross just 0.2 of a second apart with their seed times. But you look from 1 through 6, and everyone is sub 3:30 in here. In the top 6 times that come into this.
Yeah, there's another up-and-comer on the John Curtis Christian Patriot 4x4 team, Gabriel Gonzalez. He's a freshman. He has run 51 point. That's an outstanding time as a freshman. I know that ranks in the top 100 in the 400 meters in his class in the nation. So look out for him and all these other young, fine athletes that are competing in this meet. He's running the second leg.
So runners, get ready for our final event. What is it Mike Boyer used to always say for the final event of the day? Il sont partis, like they say at Evangeline Downs, right?
Yes, sir.
I can't steal that.
No. Yeah, we've had some great commentators.
No, we had a chance to host the NCAA track championships at this very facility 30 years ago, and Mike was our main track announcer for that.
I'm sure Lynn was involved in that as well.
We had a bunch of people. With some, and here we go with the 4x4 boys. Again, it's Rummel, Jesuit, John Curtis, Carr, Holy Cross, St. Aug, Brother Martin, from inside to outside. Good start.
I think it's definitely worth noting that John Curtis Christian School has an assistant coach. Speaking of running at this track, Jason Rouser, an Olympic champion, 2-time world champion, and I was waiting to make that announcement because he did that in the 4x4. He was a gold medalist in the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta.
And I was there for that.
Yeah, he's actually standing right at the 50-yard line, looking at his team perform.
A great start for Brother Martin here. They are going to make the handoff first, it appears.
Wow.
Maybe they realize just what's at stake here. A chance, and they can find a way to win this 4x4, certainly finish ahead of Carr, then they can finish third in this meet. And again, that is the one spot to be decided. Jesuit has the one spot wrapped up.
As I mentioned about Gabriel Gonzalez, he took the baton in 6th place, and he's already moving up to the pack.
We got a neck-and-neck battle here.
Jesuit making their own exclamation point on the.
And Jesuit coming out running stride for stride with Brother Martin down the lane. Not a lot at stake right now, but you never know it, the way these young men are competing. Brother Martin makes the handoff first, Jesuit second. That's Carr and John Curtis behind that, then Holy Cross, St. Aug.
King Taylor is going to close some ground here for John Curtis. And you can see who their anchor leg is down there lining up. Mr. Hurdler himself, Justin Horn.
Jesuit takes the lead in the turn here, about less than 600 meters from home.
King Taylor closing for the Curtis Patriots.
Blue Jays trying to end this in style. They've got the team title in hand.
King got the baton in 5th place.
And he's now second, huh?
Yes, sir.
Jesuit, Curtis, Brother Martin as we head down the stretch. Final leg.
And Justin Horn takes the baton.
And he's about to take the lead. Now you look back behind it, Brother Martin in 3rd, Carr in 4th. You see to the right side of your screen, that is the battle for 3rd place in the team competition.
I must
Curtis
say,
and Jesuit are 1 and 2
Jesuit
in the
is
race, and
running.
they're going to finish 1 and 2. And look, Jesuit came in with the 5th best seeded time, and they are running a big race. But right now, can Justin Horn pull away and get a relay title, a back-to-back relay title in the 4x4 for the Patriots?
And he is pulling away.
Horn has had a big day.
They're going to run under 320. Right at it, 321.
It's going to be Carr 3rd, Brother Martin 4th, so that means Carr is going to finish 3rd in this meet by 2 points. They came in tied. Carr will finish with 97. Brother Martin will finish with 95. Curtis in 2nd with 120, and Jesuit is going to win it with 140 points.
Is this over, Lenny? Can we run this thing back?
Can we start again?
Can we run this thing back?
The beauty of what we do at Crescent City Sports is this. As soon as we sign off the air, you can go back and watch this whole thing all over again.
Absolutely.
And it's worth it with some of the record performances that we have seen today. And so we will wait here for some trophy presentations to get ready to happen.
Again, please.
Curtis 321, Jesuit 322.8, Carr 323.4. Oh wait, are these official times here? Or are these? These.
Still waiting to load up. But yes, please, all the listeners out there, please check out my business's website, JeffersonIndoorSports.com. We host events, parties, training, whatever you want to do. Check us out. Give us a call. We'll give you an unforgettable experience. Just like this track meet.
Yep.
Lenny, are you sure this is the first time you guys ever covered a track meet?
This is the first time we've covered a track meet. So while we wait for team awards, now obviously one of the things that I know track experts do is you go in and try to analyze and anticipate is what is going to happen. What surprised you today, and what do you think went to form?
I've said it before throughout the broadcast. I knew Jesuit's game plan. It's one thing to have a plan. It's another thing to execute it. They impressed me a lot in the field today. I didn't see that coming. They stepped up to the plate and secured their team title. That's one thing that also on the girls' side, what Ricard did in her 2 double, setting 2 meet records, running 5:09 and 11:20, that's impressive. That's definitely the 2 things that stuck out, and they both won the team championships. It takes elite performances, people to step up outside of what they're ranked to win team titles, and both of those teams did just that.
See Mount Carmel join the fruits of yet another team title, their 3rd in a row.
3rd in a row. Yeah, we're going to have a new champion on the boys' side.
We will have a new champion on the boys' side. And it will be the Jesuit Blue Jays.
The 2 defending champions in their respective districts. Carr from 4A last year, Brother Martin 5A last year at this Catholic League. Are
finishing 3rd and 4th here.
Very impressive. Curtis was runner-up last year, going to be runner-up again this year. They're looking very forward to seeing what this regional meet is going to be in store for us.
Believe everything is now scored. We can run down the final totals. Let's just make sure everything is in. And indeed it is. So,
again, Crescent City Timing Company, Dennis Pinto, John Mayer on the gun.
Yeah, they do a great job, and they do this for just about every meet that goes on in the city of New Orleans, and it's first class.
Live results.
Mount Carmel, your winner with 138 points. Edna Carr, second with 90. Dominican third with 72. John Curtis fourth with 64. Archbishop Chappelle finishes fifth with 28. On the boys' side, Jesuit again your winner, 140 points. John Curtis 120 comes in second. Edna Carr third with 97. Brother Martin fourth with 95. Holy Cross in fifth with 60. Archbishop Rummel is sixth with 45. St. Augustine finishes seventh with 31. See the Blue Jays trying to get their people together for a team picture here. Their district championship. Still trying to gather them all in, I think. There's still some others cooling down out there.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens at the three regions across the state. There's three regions, 3 people qualify for each event. At the state meet, qualifying 9 per event. It's going to be interesting to see who steps up. You got Zachary out there, Scotlandville Catholic. Got Ruston. There's tons of teams out there that can make some noise here in the next couple weeks.
Is it tougher to get out of this meet than to get out of next week in your mind? And obviously, there's fewer spots available, and you got more competitors. But just
from my
the quality and quantity of competition you're going to face here.
As crazy as that question is, and as crazy as this answer is going to sound, I 100% believe that it is a lot easier to qualify for the state meet through the regionals than it is to survive this. This competition is top notch. Like we said, look at the 100 meters, look at the 200 meters. There are some very good times that these athletes ran that aren't even going to qualify for the regional meet.
Right. You see the winners on the top of your screen from Mount Carmel, on the bottom of your screen for Jesuit. And I got to tell you, for the first time doing this, Howie, this has been a lot of fun. I appreciate you joining us and providing your insight. And
for the first time for me behind a microphone, this has been amazing. I hope I get the opportunity to do this again. I loved it. This was absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much.
It's a great vantage point to keep up with it all from high above Tad Gormley Stadium. Our thanks to Matt Merritt, who brought you all of the pictures this evening, and to our entire Crescent City sports team. Remember, we will have some live baseball coming your way. Stay with CrescentCitySports.com. We'll be announcing schedule soon for what is coming your way in the world of playoff baseball. So once again, for Howie Inman and our entire team, I'm Lenny Van Gilder saying so long from Tad Gormley Stadium tonight. Your winners in the District 9 5A Championship are the Cubs from Mount Carmel and the Jesuit Blue Jays. Until next time, so long, everybody.